Okay, people, welcome back. This is Detective Pikachu Returns for the Nintendo Switch, and this is gonna be part one of our blind playthrough of this game. I want it in English, please. Display language. Well, we'll stick with English voices anyway, because we're still kind of used to the voices as they used to be in the 3DS version when we streamed it not that long ago. So yeah, let's pursue that. Story jump. What's that? I tend to like voices louder, but movie, double playback speed. No. Instant. Yeah, I'd prefer that actually. Text auto advance. Uh-huh. Fast forward dialogue. No. High speed movement. Why not? Correct selection indicator. I suppose so, yeah. Okay. Hey, RNG! Starting to become sick again. Again! But hey, it is what it is. What can I do? Apply these settings, yeah? Okay, maybe make the volume of the game a tiny bit louder to compensate now. Okay. Right, as long as the voices are loud enough. Okay. Let's check this out.
The name's Pikachu, and I'm what you might call a great detective. With my bolts of brilliance, I've solved many mysteries.
Bolts of
My partner
brilliance.
Harry and I ran into some trouble on a case.
Ah, yeah.
Harry suddenly disappeared, and I'd lost all my
Coming up.
memories.
What happened in the first one?
After that, I was wandering the city when I ran into Tim. Somehow, he could understand what I was saying. Our goals were one and the same. Find
Slow
Detective
res
Harry,
because it's captured
because my
straight from the
missing partner
3DS.
just so happened to be Tim's dad. While we were searching for Harry, we uncovered a series of crimes involving R, a chemical that drove Pokemon berserk. Tim and I managed to solve the case and save Rhyme City. And yet... Harry was still missing. Even now, the two of us are still searching for him.
I think this is...
Just where the heck did you go?
Yeah, this is a video. This is not in-game graphics, right? Because, yeah, there's a macro blocking.
And so, to promote an even stronger bond between the people and Pokemon of Rhyme City, I hereby proclaim this day the start of Pokemon Friendship Week. To commemorate this event, we present this award to Tim Goodman and Pikachu, who saved...
Harry!
Detective known for his bolts of brilliance.
Oh, Pikachu, I'm sorry. I guess that's a sign I better wrap this speech up, eh?
Yeah, they didn't hear Harry, they heard Pika. You playing more Pikachu? Well, I bought the second game before I bought the first one, actually.
Sorry.
Now then, due to the R.
I went back to get the first
years
one
ago,
because I wanted to play them in
some of our
order.
Citizens began to doubt Rhyme City's motto, coexistence with Pokemon. So to those of you who were affected, I offer you my deepest sympathies.
Howard Myers, the mayor,
What's that?
A Corviknight?
slices through the sky on metal wings.
Oh no, it's coming this way!
Sir, follow me. Everyone, get inside right away!
What the heck is going on?
Could it be? Or?
Doesn't look that way.
Don't think so. Its behavior's different. It's all right. Just calm down.
Pikachu.
Lousy Corviknight. It just made off with my signature hat.
Nah.
My dad gave you that hat.
Yeah, we gotta
It's the
get
same
it
voice actors by the sound of it. You know how important that hat is to me, and Corviknight just flew off with it. Crap, I skipped a bit of the dialogue. What's that? Yeah, because it's advancing the dialogue automatically. Hey, Tim, over here. Okay, I better turn that off then. Otherwise, I'll keep missing lines.
Look, this must be the notebook the mayor dropped. Oh, there's something inside. A family photo? This girl looks familiar. Oh, she's the one who didn't look too happy during the mayor's speech.
That's my classmate, Rachel. She knows a lot about Pokemon.
Huh? Whoa, time out. You know her? Why am I just now learning this?
We should return this notebook to Mayor Myers. Yeah, this is gonna be hard to pronounce. Mayor Myers, Mayor Myers, Mayor Myers. Yeah, but first we've gotta deal with Corviknight. Right, let's go, Pikachu. Is the light reflecting off his t-shirt making his face a slightly different color or something? That looked weird just now. I think I actually preferred this more simplistic look of the character in the first game, if anything. Now what do we do? That's... Uh-oh, this doesn't look good. Pidove. A regular sight in Rhyme City's parks.
Oh,
Is that Pidove unconscious? Don't touch it, moving this Pokemon could injure it. Hey you, big guy, what happened to Pidove? Well, I'm at a loss. Nothing we've tried so far is working. Hey, can you even hear me? Yo, cut your Pikachu's Pika chatter and evacuate the area. Will Butler, Chief of the Pokemon Protection Bureau. Audino can hear how healthy you are. I need to track down Corviknight and get this area evacuated, but I can't just leave this Pidove here. Hey, what happened? Calm down, Pikachu. To everyone else, you're just saying Pika Pika. I'm the only one who understands what you're saying. Why does he need to repeat that? I mean, he should know, right? Alright, sorry. Got a little worked up seeing Pidove in such a bad shape. Okay, Tim, it's on you to ask the big guy what went down. Excuse me, what happened here? Oh, you're that young detective. Yes, I'm Tim Goodman, and this is my partner, Pikachu. Will Butler, Pokemon Protection Bureau, and this Audino is the police department's rescue squad. Audino. I'll spare you the details. Right now, we need to help this Pidove. All that wind Corviknight whipped up, blew it around and knocked it out. Audino used the move to help Pidove recover, but it still hasn't woken up. Audino. Chief, no civilian injuries to report at this time. Copy that. Great work. Now I really should get back to leading the evacuation, but I can't just leave Pidove here unconscious. You ought to clear out of here too, young detective. Yeah, I may need to change to... Ah! Okay. I thought it was gonna be a warning that my controller needs to recharge soon, but actually no, it's depleted. Okay, fine. I'll switch to a different controller then because I don't have a charging cable long enough that I can use the controller while it's charging. But that's okay. Hey, yo, Monica. You ought to clear out of here too, young detective. Mr. Butler, let us help you take care of Pido. We'll find a way to wake it up. Yeah, let a couple of great detectives handle this. You? This is an emergency situation, one that requires my full attention. Maybe I should let you help. What's this one? It's small. Pika ramen? That's a perfect emote. Okay, well, it's so small I had a hard time seeing it. But yeah, it's the perfect one, I suppose. How are you today, Monica? Alright, I'll leave waking up the Spidove to you. I'm counting on you, young detective. Yes, sir. Let's go, Pikachu. Okay, cool. Hey, why don't we talk to those other Pidove? Sure, let's give it a shot.
Whoa!
Where are you going, Tim? We gotta ask those Pidove some questions. Hold on a sec, Tim. Before we talk to these guys, there's something I need to tell you. Yeah, what is it? Cases don't just pop up when it's convenient for us. I don't gotta tell you that, right? I'm good. Internet seems better today. How are you? Throat still sore. Bit worse than yesterday. This morning was torture. I'm feeling a bit better than this morning, though. I had to go out to buy some stuff earlier today and, well, it wasn't easy. But hey, I'm here and I'm alive. Right. And it's been a good long while since our last case. Well, that's true. So let's hit pause and jog our memories of how we go about investigating a case. We'll do this one by the book, alright? If you say so. Tim, this is our first investigation in a long time. Fortunately, Pido's injuries are already healed. All we gotta do is find a way to wake it up. Some might call it coincidence, but me, I call it an opportunity for a detective work tutorial. Perfect, right? I suppose. Let's refresh our memory and make sure we conduct a full investigation. That's the important part. Being a bit better? Yeah, being alive. Yeah. Okay, got it. First, let's quickly go over how we investigate. I talk to the Pokemon, and I talk to the people. Together, the two of us will gather evidence and take testimonies from people in Pokemon and piece them all together to solve the case. Yep, that's how we do it. Exactly. Okay, this round of questioning is all yours, Pikachu. Sure thing, here I go. Hey, Pidove, can I talk to you? I'm guessing you're pals with that unconscious Pidove. Mind if I ask you a couple questions? Cool. It says there are friends taking a nap and won't wake up. So it thinks that unconscious Pidove is just sleeping? Goo goo. You really love the smell of... Wait, huh? What's that got to do with anything? Goo goo. Nice strong aroma makes the sleepy times go away. That's what it's saying. Coffee? You'd think these Pidove would be more concerned about their unconscious friends instead of chirping about some smell. I'm gathering there's a certain aroma that Pidove are really into. Maybe coffee? Guess that's all we're gonna get. Maybe we should question some of the other Pidove around here. Okay. Hey, Tim, come here for a sec. I was hoping more of the game would be voiced, so I wouldn't have to read all that much, but hey. Guess I gotta suffer for the sake of science. You get stuck during your investigation and see the light bulb icon in the lower left corner of the screen. You can press the left button to consult Pikachu and get a hint. Smelling salts could also work. Would that be so specific though? In a Pokemon game? Call me before you go anywhere. I'm a little curious about that Pidove was saying. Its friend is unconscious, but all it wanted to talk about was an aroma it likes. Yeah, nice strong aroma makes the sleepy times go away. That sounds more like a description of coffee to me. Plus, coffee is important in Detective Pikachu because it's what Pikachu likes the most. Aroma, sleepy times, go away. What if it was talking about using some kind of scent? And what if that scent could wake up its friend? That's it, Tim. If we can find the strong aroma those Pidove were chirping about, maybe it'll wake up their unconscious friend. That's what I'm thinking. It's worth a shot at least. But how are we going to find a scent like that? There might be some Pokemon who haven't evacuated yet. Maybe we can ask them. That reminds me. Listen up, Tim. If you're having trouble during an investigation, you can call out to me anytime. Yeah, I know that. Perfume can be strong. I suppose. But if you get stuck, it might be a good idea to take a break or retrace your steps. That's important too. You can save the game and change your game settings. Press the ZL button during gameplay to reread recent conversations. Older conversations eventually disappear, so be careful not to forget what was said. Ah, okay. Here we go! What was that? Nice is another thing, though. Ah, I guess they have perfume, these Pokemon. But there's a coffee grinder on the window of the shop there or something. It is a coffee shop, so meh. Could be one or the other, I guess. You're Aromatisse, aren't you? What are these Pidove surrounding you for? They started flocking to it as soon as it got here. These Pidove have been following Aromatisse around. Cuckoo! You're asking it to make up the nice aroma. Hurry up, make the aroma! Aroma! Pidove are really getting on its nerves. Seems like these Pidove are all drawn to a scent that Aromatisse emits. Which means Aromatisse might be able to help us wake up the unconscious Pidove. Good thinking, Pikachu. Let's ask if Aromatisse is willing to help us out. Hey there, Aromatisse, we could use some help. Aromatisse! It'll help us out if we can get these Pidove to stop following it around. Fair enough, let's talk to the Pidove. I just hope they understand us. Sorry to ask you this, but could you move, somewhere else? Hey, now is not the time to stop and smell the aromas. We're trying to help your friend here. Say, guess what? Pretty soon, Aromatisse is gonna go make lots of nice aromas right over there. Cool! They're on board with the nice aromas over there plan. So they'll move. Great. Aromatisse should be willing to help us out now, right? Aroma! It's happy to lend a hand now that we got those Pidove to move. Let's take Aromatisse back to the square. Aromatisse, Sister Pidove, please help it. Aroma!
All right. Glad that worked. Oh.
Pidove is awake. Aldino! Wow, Aromatisse's scent is nice, but it's kind of like a really strong perfume. I don't get why the Pidove like it so much. Coo! Glad you're enjoying it. Aroma! Yep, you were a huge help, Aromatisse. Thanks. Excellent work, young detective. That perked Pidove right up. I didn't even consider getting help from the other Pokemon in the area. Oh yeah, come to think of it, a police officer was calling this big guy Chief. I wonder why. How about you ask him and find out? Yes, I'm Will Butler, Chief of the PPB. PPB. An organization dedicated to protecting the Pokemon of Rhyme City. The Pokemon Protection Bureau. Okay. So it's kind of like the police, but focused on Pokemon. I didn't know we had something like that. The Bureau only recently started its official operations. Give Aromatisse a treat, damn! For the hard work! Puffin! That's the treats for Pokemon in the Pokemon universe. Puffins. I think it was... Which game was it that you had to make them for your Pokemon? That was either on Nintendo DS or 3DS, because I remember you had to like stir the batter to make them using the stylus. At the moment, we're borrowing office space at the Rhyme City Police Station and cooperating with the police. We were dispatched to provide security, but well, just look at what happened. Hi, Rudy-san! How's it going, Morgan? How are you today? I can't believe a fiasco this big occurred on my watch. It's honestly an embarrassment. About the Pokemon Protection Bureau. We were formed 2 years ago as a response to the infamous R incident, the case you two solved. Back then, Pokemon-related disturbances were happening all over the city. The human and Pokemon residents of Rhyme City were deeply affected by that. I'm starting to feel sick again, Morgan, after feeling better for a few days. You typed Ruby. Well, it was so small on the screen that from a distance I actually didn't even notice, so don't worry about it. The human and Pokemon residents of Rhyme City were deeply affected by that. Mayor Myers was so shaken by what occurred, he took it upon himself to create the PPB as a countermeasure. Yeah, it was better, and now my throat is starting to ache again. It's very frustrating. How you sick so soon? I don't know. I have no idea. I think it's because it was... I've been going to work in the going home from work in the early hours of the morning lately, when it's really cold, and in a state where I was maybe, I don't know, more fragile because I hadn't had any sleep all night, so maybe I was not quite as able to cope with the cold, and I felt sick again. I don't know. I felt okay the first 3 nights. It's really in the morning coming home from work on my last night shift of the week that I started feeling that my throat was not quite right. Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum are the games that lets you create puffins. Okay. So it must have been on the DS then that I did that. You need a vacation. No rest for the wicked, I'm afraid. There are too many holidays this month that I work on for me to want to take a vacation. Because I get paid more. And I get to take that day as a vacation on any other day that I like, where it's more profitable for me. I want to try making puffins. I have Shining Pearl, but I never got far. I have, which one is it that I have? Shining Diamond, I think. Or Brilliant Diamond, I think it was called. I got it to review, but I never finished it, actually. No, take a vacation now! No! That's why this organization exists. Isn't keeping the peace the police's job, though? In the past few years, Rhyme City has seen a concerning rise in the number of reported incidents and accidents. The police are struggling to handle so many incidents, including those involving Pokemon, but now the police can protect the human population of Rhyme City, while the PPP protects the Pokemon. By dividing up the work, we can keep everyone safe. You do have Pokemon Legends Arceus, isn't it, Monica? You played a lot of that, didn't you? So that's why the PPP was formed, just what I'd expect from Rhyme City. I'm one of the few people who preferred Sword and Shield. Howard really is looking out for us Pokemon, huh? Okay. By the way, young detective, I was watching your investigation earlier. I couldn't help but notice. Were you explaining things to Pikachu? Huh? I don't think Pikachu understands what you're telling him, though. Unless the two of you can. I'm not actually talking to him. It's more like getting advice. No, that's not it. It's... Oh, I get it. You talk to Pikachu to organize your thoughts. Interesting way to form your deductions, if you ask me. Yeah, that's it. RCS is so much fun. I want another game like it, to be honest. You didn't like Scarlet Violet? I think I finished Scarlet Violet. I believe so. I think I played it to the end. Same with Sword and Shield. But yeah, Brilliant Diamond, I didn't actually finish it. And Arceus, I was really close to finishing it when I lost my save files, sadly. When my save files got corrupted on Nintendo Switch. I heard the Detective Pikachu movie was bad. Well, I watched it and thought it was okay. That's just me, though. Excuse me. I watched it and thought it was okay. I actually watched it as I was in the middle of playing the first game. So that was fun, seeing what was different between the game that it was based on and, well, the movie. Well, we do understand each other, actually. Phew, that was close. Be careful, usually folks wouldn't believe we can talk to one another. Whoa! Ah!
It's back again. Come on, let's chase it down.
Sir,
I'm hoping the one coming in the future Pokemon AZ will be like Arceus. I don't know, I haven't really looked into it too much. Mostly because I feel done with the whole Pokemon thing. In my opinion, they don't put enough effort into making them look as good as they could look. And I think they need to learn that just won't float just because they're Pokemon. I don't want them to think that they can get away with it. So I'm making a statement. I'm not getting any other Pokemon games unless they're actually good. I think this game, for example, looks kind of good, so that's okay. But it's not made by Game Freak themselves, though. I think it's Game Freak themselves that have a very big problem with getting their games to look as good as they should be able to look on any given hardware. Pokemon is a money-making scheme. Yeah. The chief went after Corviknight in his patrol car. I bet Corviknight still has my hat. Let's follow it. Execute. Executor. App. Those are Pokemon cries. Sounds like they're coming from the direction Corviknight flew off in. Let's go check it out. Magnemite. Levitates using electromagnetism. Mag? Why aren't we running away? Well, I gotta get my hat back from Corviknight. Mag. Thanks for looking out for me. You stay safe too, okay? Xatu? Stares into the great beyond. What kind of noise was that? Nah. Xatu. It's telling us not to panic. Cool as a cucumber, even during a crisis.
Oh!
Whoa! Pikachu, look! It's an Alolan Executor? Is that it? How do you like these apples? They're scattered all over the place. What a mess. Investigate the area. Is this a tree? And it's growing here? It's kind of weird, unless what? No, this is definitely weird. You're hurting its feelings! How can you say that? I like that it's only one game and not like 2, 3, no having to have friends who have the other games or needing to have them yourself. I can be a loner and still have fun collecting old Pokemons. Yeah, that's true. That's one thing that Arceus does kind of right. I think it's still possible to trade them, but you don't have to if you don't want to. Or if you can't. Applin. It's dangerous here, Applin. You should find somewhere that's safe. App. That's odd. It doesn't seem like it wants to leave. Let's talk to it.
Hey,
I haven't seen any Applin in the city before. Where'd you come from? App. You go to sleep in a wooden crate, and when you wake up, you're always someplace new. So the apple vendor travels to different locations, and this Applin gets carried along. The apple vendor probably doesn't know about this Applin. Apple. Something suddenly shook it awake a moment ago. I'll bet that was Corviknight. Same goes for these crates getting toppled over. Nah, I'm thinking it's the Pokemon instead. I don't see the apple vendor. They must have evacuated the area. What happened here? So the wooden crate shook, you got thrown out, and that's when you realized your friends were missing? It got separated, then let's help find its friends. Good thinking. How many friends were here with you? App. 2? Okay, got it. From what Applin said, I think I get what's going on here. But as much as I'd like to go get my hat back from Corviknight, we can't just abandon the Pokemon in need of our help. What kind of great detectives would we be if we didn't lend a helping hand or two along the way? Okay, should we investigate the fallen apples over there? I'd be happy to if there wasn't a tree in the way. Something about it seems odd to me. Maybe we should investigate that first. Okay. Okay, Monica.
hey,
No.
I see.
Not necessary. Inspect the tree. Okay, so we can't investigate because this tree is in the way. What should we do about it? Well, we can't just cut it down. Eggs.
Whoa! This tree's an Executor!
An Alolan form. Yeah. Towering tropical Pokemon. Wait, isn't this an Alolan Executor? I've never seen one before, so I didn't even realize that. What's it doing here in Rhyme City? Why don't we ask and get some other questions in while we're at it? We can't investigate until it moves. Hey, Executor! Over here, look down by your feet. Eggs? What? Don't all talk at once. How about this, Executor? I'll tell you which head should answer. Sounds good? Eggs. Oops, forgot to say which head.
Hey,
You, midless head. Why are you here? Eggs. Guess it's been traveling around with the apple vendor. That explains why it's here in Rhyme City.
hey,
You, right head. Tell me what happened here. Eggs. Corviknight came flying through, and when you tried to dodge it, you bumped into the fruit stand. I knew it. By the way, have you seen a hat? Corviknight took mine. Eggs. Guess it happened too suddenly for you to tell. Oh well.
hey,
Left head, we've got a favor to ask. Egg. Sorry, but we want to search through those apples scattered behind you. Could you please scooch over a bit? Egg. Oh good, it moved for us. Now we can investigate the scene. This is where all the apples got scattered around. Let the investigating begin. Remember what we're looking for. Well, I can see one already right there. All the others look normal. Like plain apples. The two missing Applin. There's a lot of apples here, so try not to overlook them, okay? This is one. Look, an Applin, I found one. If you've been sitting still pretending to be an apple this whole time, that must take a whole lot of patience. Patiently staying still is one of your talents. Impressive. That's one of the talents of many of my colleagues as well. Not working. Your friend is waiting for you. There are apples everywhere. I don't see any applin. At this point, these apples are only good for making juice or jam or something. Still eat them, bruises and all. It's an apple crate, no sign of applin though. We searched pretty thoroughly. I still don't see my hat or the other applin though. Where could it be? Did you see something move behind that crate? No, I didn't notice anything. Oh, my hat! Well, how did it move, though? Ah, because the applin is under the hat, though. Maybe. Corvinite dropped it. Could have sworn it wasn't here earlier. Anyway, I'm just glad to have it back.
This was a real pain.
Investigation, I guess, Morgan?
Hey, get back here.
Or kind of visual novel, sort
Hey,
of.
quit playing around.
Hey, I'm not playing at all. My hat keeps moving on its own.
You investigate.
That's
That's the
ridiculous,
goal of the game. And you follow along with the story.
See? Told you so.
Executor.
Guess I've gotta go get it.
Guess so.
This part is so slow and honestly makes me remember it's more targeted towards kids.
Tim, lift me up.
Okay.
I know you have the game. Have you had a
Alright.
chance to play it,
Don't hurt yourself.
Monica?
Please, this'll be nothing.
I just remembered recently that I didn't get Raincoat for the Nintendo Switch yet.
Finally got you back.
I got kinda annoyed at something and then never got back to it. Pikachu, it's an applin. Whoa. Are you okay? Fine and dandy. Nice catch, by the way. Are the applin okay too? Yep, they all seem happy to be reunited. Good, glad they're alright. So one of them was wearing my hat, huh? Seeing it move on its own really threw me for a loop. I'm sure Corvinite dropped the hat mid-flight and it just happened to fall on top of Applin. Not annoyed at this game, but something else and had to close it down. Ah, okay. Oh yeah, hey Tim, where's my hat? Don't worry, I've got it. At the end of the day, I'm just glad I didn't lose my hat.
Yeesh, that was a hassle. Yeah, now that's more like it.
Yeah, you look like yourself again.
Thanks, Tim. Harry gave me this hat to commemorate our partnership.
The awards ceremony will resume shortly. We ask that all participants please return to the venue at this time.
I guess we better hurry back.
That darn Corviknight. I'll let it off the hook just this once.
And new games and life, and
Great work.
you
Thank
got a combo of me just never getting back to it. Well, I
And
know
you as
the
well,
feeling all
Pikachu.
too well.
Yep.
I can't say it enough. Rhyme City owes you a debt of gratitude for your efforts. We strive for coexistence between people and Pokemon
I've got
in
a
our
few
fair
games
city.
for which I could say the same thing.
And you two are the ideal detective duo. On behalf of the city, I am pleased to present you with this medal.
Thank you, Mayor Myers. I'm honored.
Of course, you get one too, Pikachu.
Yeah, I'm the great detective.
Pika Pika,
Pika,
to you
Pika.
too, little hero. Both of you, keep up that great work.
Wait
Congratulations, hon!
Later that evening, at Tim's apartment.
Tim, I was so proud of you today.
Irene Goodman, Tim's mother.
You're amazing.
They were not
Tim.
in the first game, I think. Sophia Goodman, Tim's little sister. I guess they came for the ceremony, right? They don't
Everyone
live
knows
there.
all about the amazing work you two have done. There was the Evie abduction case, the fossil stealing spree.
And the Rhine Tower standoff case, too. They even made a movie based on the R case.
Yeah, I thought that movie was pretty good, but how come Mom and me didn't even show up in it?
I have no idea.
They were not in the original game, that's why.
Yeah, I guess.
Honestly, at such a young age, that's pretty damn
by the
impressive.
way,
Huh.
I've been meaning to ask you something. This is Dad's Pikachu, right?
Yeah. He's my partner at the moment, though.
I see.
Can she understand him?
Whoa, whoa. What's with all the staring?
He saved your dad from trouble many times.
Wow.
No?
Oh, Pikachu. The news is about to start. Maybe there's an update on that Corviknight.
Yeah.
She can understand him, maybe? Check the TV.
Hey,
Oh, these are our old case notes. Yep, it's all the stuff you told me to keep a record of. Not bad, Tim. There's a lot you can learn from past cases, you know? Show me what you've got there. Show me what you've got there. Yeah. Oh, the R case, eh? That takes me back. It was the first case we partnered up on. I'd love to see a version... from others' eyes, you only hear Pika Pika. It was the first case we partnered up on. Yeah, R was a chemical that made Pokemon go berserk. It was created from Mewtwo cells. When the Pokemon was given R, its eyes would glow red and it would become enraged and violent. It was horrible. Even now, I still can't believe they used innocent Pokemon to cause all those incidents. Same, that was one tough nut to crack, but we managed to catch the culprit in the end. As for Mewtwo cells and the remaining vials of R, we confiscated all that stuff when we brought the culprit to justice. Speaking of which, in our final confrontation with that guy, you managed to use one of your moves. You usually can't use any of your moves. How were you able to pull that off? Beats me, I'm just as baffled as you are, kid. After Harry went missing, I lost all my memories for some reason. That's also when I realized I couldn't use any moves. Maybe the pressure of that intense situation is how you were able to use that move. Could be, it's a possibility at least. In the movie Detective Pikachu, Pikachu turns back into Harry at the end. Because, I guess, Harry had become fused with this Pokemon or something. Here, I don't know if, his missing dad is the Pikachu or not. It's not really confirmed, so I don't know. Could be, it's a possibility at least. After I used that move, I just blacked out. I was really worried about you. These are the medals we received. They're proof of all the good we've done with our great detective work. Let's keep it up, Tim. I want to examine everything. Oh, it's that lady from the first game on the TV. Can't remember her name, though. We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this breaking news. Oh, what's going on?
According
Spoilers!
to amateur footage we've received from a viewer, Pokémon appear to have caused an explosion. This explosion occurred in the mountain range northeast of Rhyme City. This may be related to the recent uptick in incidents involving
Not that I
Pokemon.
mind.
Rhyme City Police and the newly
I've not played this
established
game, so
Pokemon
I don't know if it's the
Bureau are
same. I'm just
investigating.
saying.
Amelia Christie signing off.
I'm not stating that as a fact.
Hey,
I don't
Tim,
know myself.
Did you catch that?
I hope that incident doesn't have anything to do with Dad.
Same here.
Mewtwo told me 2 years ago. Dad's alive, and we'll be able to find him as long as we don't give up.
Yeah. Mewtwo is still our only connection to finding Harry.
Whispering to Pikachu, are you? You're just like your father, talking to Pokemon like that.
Oh, really? It's been 2 years since the
I haven't seen the movie, Monica. Were you planning on
We've
it?
solved all kinds of cases. The mayor even gave us an award for it. I can still talk to Pikachu and understand him. If the two of us keep solving cases together, I'm sure we'll find my dad someday.
I believe it's on Netflix here. I think that's where I watched it. No. The day after the awards ceremony. Whimsicott. Rides the wind from town to town.
That's a lot of Whimsicott.
Sure is. They ride through on seasonal winds every year.
I hear they can be real pranksters.
If they get in a house they like, they
You haven't seen the movie, but you know the ending? Yeah, the movie I have
Sounds like a
watched,
pain to
yeah.
clean up.
Yep. The sweet smell of coffee.
I watched
is
the movie
calling
when
my
I
name.
was streaming
It's the
the
perfect
first game,
Pikachu,
actually,
baby.
because I wanted to know how different they would be.
Tim.
Frank Holiday, Rhyme City Police Inspector.
Inspector Holiday, did you finally find my dad?
No.
Sorry. No. I'm here on a different case. We've received reports of a jewel theft. Could you lend me a hand with this one?
Of course.
Was Ryan
The
Reynolds'
incident
voice
occurred
good
at
as
the dentist
Pikachu in the
residence,
film?
The mansion down the street. Sorry, but Brad is waiting for me. I'll go
But
ahead
it's
and
not
meet
as
up with you
deep as
there.
this guy's voice, obviously.
So much for my coffee.
But I like the dynamic of it. It's more the way he talks rather than the voice itself, I think, that was fitting for the kind of role that they were going for. A lot of times in this game, I see a Pokemon and my mind is just like, I want it. What, you want a Whimsicott? They look fluffy, don't they? Okay, let's go, Pikachu. Wait a second, Tim. What for? There's no need to rush. You gotta be calm and unhurried if you want to do your best investigating. Japanese voice is deeper. Even more so. In this case, it's more that because I wanted people watching to not have to necessarily read if they don't want to, that I left the voices in English. If it was for myself, I would probably play with Japanese voices instead, but in this case, I've already committed to English voices when streaming the first one, so... It wouldn't have felt right if I streamed the first one in English and then this one in Japanese. I want so many Pokemon. Yeah, I guess that's true. Chatting with Pikachu, Pikachu is a real talkative Pokemon. If you see this Pikachu icon in the lower left corner of the screen, you can press the right button to chat with him. Sometimes Pikachu will try to get your attention and the Pikachu icon will bounce to let you know he wants to talk. If you see this icon bouncing, press the right button to hear what Pikachu has to say. In the 3DS game, he would call out your name. What, they removed that?
Tim.
I know. Okay, that's still the case here.
Look, I know we need to hurry. But would it really hurt if we relaxed a bit? For
You seen the video I sent you right a
here's
long time
good
ago?
idea. You could
Can
listen
you
to some
remind me
sage
which one it
advice from
is?
a great detective like me. Okay.
I must have. If you sent it, I obviously watched it, but At the moment, I can't remember what exactly you're referring to. But Holiday is waiting. We better go join him.
Great detective tip number 7. Begin every investigation by taking your client's word at face value.
Okay.
From there, forget your preconceived notions and gather the facts until you uncover the truth. Whoa!
That's not the way to the crime scene. I just noticed the hair from Whimsicott floating in the background.
Whoa!
That's pretty neat.
You know the drill, Tim. Wash your hands and gargle when you get home. Don't forget.
Where was that? Whimsicott in the background. Ah, yeah, there.
Tim!
I appreciate you coming on such short notice, Tim. This way, the crime took place at the Dennis residence up ahead. Go to the scene of the crime, the Dennis residence. It's the beginning where he talks about what happened in the last game, but mine is in Japanese. Ah, yes, that one, yeah. Yeah, I recall now. Yeah, true, yeah. Yeah, about the voice, you mean. About Pikachu's voice being, deeper in Japanese. Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, that's true. I forgot that you actually had me listen. It's coming back to me now. I'm gonna get some more to drink because reading out loud is really having a toll on my voice. My throat's not helping. Tim. Okay. These menu items use all sorts of different berries, with so many choices they could cater to any Pokemon's tastes. Is that a puffin I see there? Ludicolo? No, that's not Ludicolo. I can't remember the name. Maractus. Okay. Great job, Maractus. Your dancing is so cute. From the top. 1, 2, 1, 2. Maraca. Yeah, it's making noises like maracas, I guess. It's dancing.
Whoa!
Hey, Tim, that's not the way to the crime scene. Let me explore it, damn it. Oh no, Hariyama is facing off against Poliwrath again. Why does he act out like this? He's usually so gentle. Is something wrong? My partner Hariyama loves showing off his strength, especially when he can test it against someone else's. And since Poliwrath is almost so proud of its muscles, Hariyama considers it its rival. Once they start going at it, it's hard to stop them. Yikes, guess we'd better avoid that alley for now. Wrath, Aria. Poliwrath and the Hariyama, they are squaring off. You could cut the tension with a knife. Looks like a fight could break out any second. We should probably avoid this alley so we don't accidentally set them off. I wonder what it says there on that sign. Does it mean don't feed the Pokemon? Indeed. Ah, you can't talk to them? Indeedy really helps loosen up the knots in my shoulder. I'd like someone to help loosen up the knots in my back sometimes.
Whoa!
Okay, I guess I gotta go that way.
Well, 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 if it isn't the great detectives.
Oh, yeah, he was in the first game, this guy. Brad McMaster, Rhyme City Police Lieutenant. He wanted to arrest a guy who hadn't done anything wrong. Manectric. It's been a while, Brad. Still trying to arrest the wrong person? That's what you do, right? I see you're on the case too. I suppose that means you are as well. You private detectives do love sticking your noses into every little thing. If Mr. Dennis hadn't requested you personally, I'd be asking you to leave right now. Yep, he's still a jerk. Think he's still holding a grudge from that time we showed him up? Manek. He says no funny business. Sheesh, no wonder you two are partners. That's enough, Brad. We're going to be conducting this investigation together. Brad sucks. This is the scene of the crime, right? Yes, this mansion belongs to Sanjeev Dennis, a jeweler. Sanjeev. That sounds Indian, no? Or do I have that wrong? Mr. Dennis is one of the wealthiest men in Rhyme City. Under normal circumstances, a civilian like yourself would never have the opportunity to meet him. Make sure you don't do anything to offend him. Oh, and don't get in the way of our investigation either. He's just got to get a dig in somewhere, doesn't he? Okay, Tim, come inside. The MJ. Hee hee. The missing jewel. Dennis residence. First floor.
I see.
Alright, Tim. Mr. Dennis is waiting for you in the room to the right. Thanks, Inspector Holiday. Oh, it's a ho-ho. The name of this painting is Golden Sunrise, and it depicts Oho, a Pokemon that's spoken of in legends. They say it brings eternal happiness and that its wings shine with rainbow-colored light. Rainbow-colored light, huh? The painting sure is beautiful, but I'll bet the real thing is even more breathtaking. Manek. Hey, I have a couple of questions to ask. Got a moment? Manek. Don't want to waste time chatting while you're on duty, huh? Awfully stubborn, aren't you? You're even harder to talk to than Brad's Manectric. Lieutenant McMaster is currently interviewing Mr. Barnes in this room.
Excuse me?
I guess it would be too much to ask for us to join in, right? I'm afraid we can't allow even the great Detective Tim to do that police protocol, you understand? Ah, there's a Lugia. The name of this painting is Silver Waves, and it depicts Lugia, a Pokemon known as the Guardian of the Seas. It's rumored to live deep down on the ocean floor, but no one's ever seen it. That makes sense. The ocean floor is not exactly a place you just casually visit. I do miss the really shiny boxes that those Game Boy Color games used to come in. I still got that silver box for Pokemon Silver on Game Boy, and it still looks gorgeous in my opinion. They use the thicker cardboard though, so these boxes come apart more easily though. The glue doesn't really stick very well.
Oh, Tim, I've been waiting for you.
Sanjeev Dennis, jeweler. Grolife, guard at the Dennis residence. It happened on his watch, so he's depressed. My name is Sanjeev Dennis, I'm a jeweler, and this is my partner Grolife. Growl. Detective Tim Goodman, and this is my partner Pikachu. Sorry to jump right into it, but could you please tell us what you know about the incident? About the crime that took place. A precious jewel was stolen while I was out of the house. It's called the Aurora Drop. and it's a very rare jewel indeed. The Aurora Drop. What a mysterious name, magical even. The thief injured one of my staff members and made off with the jewel. No testimony. Crap, I skipped a line. Thankfully my staff member's injuries were minor, and yet is something sticking out to you as odd? Well, the police are treating my trusted butler as the prime suspect. They think the butler did it? Could you tell me a bit more about the stolen jewel? It looks like this. Most gemstones must be first cut and polished into beautiful jewels, but the Aurora Drop is said to have naturally formed into its shape. The way it shines looks a bit like an aurora. Yes, that's precisely how it got its name. The Aurora Drop has been the subject of many a tale, but it was thought to be nothing more than fiction. Even among us jewelers, for the longest time, we called it the Jewel of Legend. Wow, he wasn't kidding when he called it precious. Guess it's no surprise that someone wanted to steal it. It definitely sounds valuable. Where were you displaying it? I kept it securely locked within a special reinforced case inside my jewel storage room. There are locks on both the storage room door and the reinforced case. And yet, despite all that security, it still got stolen. About your trusted butler. You mentioned that the police already have a suspect. Yes, they believe that the thief is my own trusted butler, Barnes. Why do they think that? Because Barnes and I are the only people who can access the key to the storage room. What's keeping someone else from getting to it? The key is always kept around Growlithe's neck. If anyone but Barnes or myself attempted to take it from her, Growlithe would start barking. Ah, it's a female. My Growlithe is a very loyal Pokemon. She would never allow the key to be taken by a stranger. I don't see a key around Growlithe's neck right now. The police think Barnes took it. That would certainly make sense, assuming Barnes really is the culprit. Mr. Dennis, if possible, I'd like to talk with Barnes. He's currently being questioned by the police. But you don't believe Barnes is the thief, is that correct? I've known Barnes since we were young. He's worked in this home for years and has always served us well. I'm certain that he'd never steal from me, and I couldn't possibly imagine him hurting anyone. So you're saying Barnes didn't do it and the real culprit is still at large? That's right, someone else must have stolen the jewel. Please help me prove that Barnes is innocent. So that's why we called us here, to clear his butler's name. We'll talk to Barnes later. So finding the Aurora Drop and clearing Barnes of suspicion, those are the two things you called us here to do. Could you please? You're the only ones I can count on. Our job is to investigate the case and reveal the truth. We won't know if Barnes is truly innocent until we look into this more. Yeah, the police must have at least some reason to suspect him. Knowing Brad? Not necessarily. That's not a prerequisite. Anyone will do. Pretty much. As long as the case is solved at the end of the day. Pretty much. We'll do what we can. If that's acceptable to you, we'll take the case. That's more than acceptable. Thank you, Tim. Great. In that case, may I start investigating the scene of the crime? Of course, the jewel storage room is just upstairs. I know you won't let me down. Wait a second, Tim. There's something I want to try starting with this case. Something you want to try? A case notebook. The writers for Detective Journal swear by it. Detective Journal, that's the magazine you're always reading, right? Yeah, that's the one. They researched the most efficient way for detectives to organize their case notes. Imagine if that was the case. An actual magazine for detectives. The audience would be pretty limited. Like ads for detective hats and that sort of thing. Magnifying lenses, that sort of thing. Excuse me. The solution they came up with was a case notebook. I'd read it. So you could solve cases more efficiently in your free time or something. Okay. Pardon me. Sounds intriguing. How does it work? I'm getting to that. First, open up your notebook. Sanjeev Dennis's jewel has apparently been stolen, but how did the culprit steal it? Investigate the scene of the crime on the second floor for clues. We'll summarize testimony and evidence that we've gathered during our investigation on the page below. The Aurora drop is Mr. Dennis's prized jewel. Someone has stolen it. After we've collected enough testimonies and evidence, the begin deducing option will appear. When you select this, we can start deducing the answers to our questions. We don't have enough testimonies or evidence right now, but once we do, we'll be able to start deducing. I guess actually using the notebook is the best approach. So Tim, what do we have to do right now? We have to collect testimonies and evidence to figure out how the jewel was stolen. Like, there's old cases written in there, there's secrets hidden in there, but also games or riddles. Yeah, I guess, come to think of it, I know of at least one that exists here. But it's usually... Well, let's just say that they paint the cases in a very extremely dramatic way. Because they know that will sell better. So I'm not a huge fan of them. I've read them on occasions because there was a former cop living up the street from us that used to buy them, and he would hand them off to my dad when he was finished reading them. And so every now and then I would pick them up and try to read them myself, but the way that they would present the cases, you could tell that it was really set up in a way that would sound extremely dramatic. You could get profiles on detectives. To do that, we first have to investigate the scene of the crime. That's right, let's go check out the jewel storage room. I haven't saved anything. There's a note saved, but... Lieutenant McMaster is currently interviewing Mr. Barnes in this room. Okay, you've made yourself clear. I won't bother you while you're working. Lieutenant McMaster is currently interviewing Mr. Barnes in this room.
Excuse me?
I guess it would be too much to ask for us to join in, right? I'm afraid we can't allow even the great Detective Tim to do that. For police protocol, you understand.
I see.
I take it you've heard what Mr. Dennis has to say. I'm guessing he has told you about this butler. He's definitely not pleased that Barnes has fallen under suspicion. It sure seems that way. In my position, I'm not at liberty to share all the information we've gathered. But if there's anything I can do to help, just let me know. Thank you. At the time of the incident about Barnes, about the Aurora drop. What was the situation in the mansion at the time of the incident? We're still looking into that. I'm sure you'll get more direct answers by asking the witnesses themselves. He's right, we should take this one step at a time and gather our own intel. I was told Barnes is the police's prime suspect. Well, the circumstantial evidence certainly seems to be pointing in this direction. He doesn't sound terribly convinced. Does anything strike you as odd? Yes, actually, I can't think of a single motive for Barnes to steal that jewel. He doesn't appear to bear any ill will toward Mr. Dennis, and he is in no trouble financially. That being said, we may uncover a motive in the course of our investigation, but for now I can't say anything with certainty. Understood. About the Aurora drop? I hear the Aurora drop is an incredibly valuable jewel. It's not just valuable, it's famous throughout the entire jewelry industry. Then there must be plenty of people who would like to get their hands on it. Could the jewel have been stolen by an intruder? I can't rule out that possibility, but based on current evidence, I'd say the likelihood of a burglary is low. I say we should interrogate the Growlithe. It's Dennis's partner, Growlithe. She sure doesn't look happy. She feels responsible. No wonder she's so down. The question is why? We should leave her alone for a while. I would say her testimony is of the utmost importance. Looks like some dueling tools have been left in here. I wonder if Mr. Dennis uses this room as a study too. If this is a desk, there should be a chair for the desk, no? All I see are armchairs. Or sofas. I'd say this game, the way this game is lit is a little bit weird. It's lacking in shadows, I would say. It's extremely bright. This is the jewel storage room, the scene of the crime. This room is currently being searched by the police.
Whoa!
Okay. Ah. What Pokemon has bright blue feathers like that? What's all this? Pokemon feathers. Not Pidove. I can see one in my mind, but I can't remember what the name is. Maybe a Pokemon got in or out through here. Do you think it has anything to do with this case? Look at this. One of these feathers is darker than the others. You're right, the other 6 are a lighter shade of blue. Something about that is nagging at me. There seems to be fluff like that of Whimsicott in there. Inspector Holiday has already filled me in. Please go right ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, Whimsicotts have been in here. What is it, Pikachu? I checked out the door, but there are no signs of forced entry. Then we can be fairly certain that the thief used the key to get in. According to Dennis, this room is where the Aurora drop used to be. Let's take a closer look.
Seems like the residents of this mansion drink coffee frequently.
Again with the coffee.
Tell by the aroma.
What a beautiful jewel. It's so clear and sparkly, absolutely brilliant. A green jewel. That fresh green color reminds me of the forest. Just looking at it is calming. Blue. It's a deep blue, like the ocean. It has a kind of magical feeling to it. A red one. What a vibrant red, like boiling hot lava. It's almost too bright to look at. I can't look at the fluff. This area looks more disturbed than the rest. Let's start investigating. We might find a clue. Alright, don't let any details slip past you, Tim.
Let me see.
Where should we look first? That looks like part of the jewel case. Whimsicotts were migrating... were, I guess, migrating or something, right? That's why they were flying around everywhere. Pikachu even said, if they get inside somehow, you'll have fluff everywhere or something like that. So it was foreshadowing. Yeah, I guess it's to give you context ahead of time. That looks like part of the jewel case. Based on the shape, do you think the top half of the case was cut off? It looks that way. It's a really clean cut. Could a Pokemon have done that? Scyther? What's the name of that one? The green one with the scythe for arms. Scyther, I think. Slicing it must have taken one seriously sharp blade. I doubt a human could pull that off. But there are no signs of one such Pokemon having been in here, though. Here's a blue feather. Do you think the Pokemon it belonged to was in this room? Maybe it's from a Pokemon that lives in the mansion. Let's look into that later. The jewel case is still locked. Like Dennis said, the jewel in this case was stored under lock and key. And the key to the case is a different key than the one to the jewel storage room door. I wonder who has the key then. Well, that's it, isn't it? Ah, no. The fluff. There's some cotton on the ground. It looks really fluffy and soft. Cotton in the jewel storage room. What's a bunch of cotton doing in here?
Right.
We've covered everything I was wondering about. Any other spots you want to check? No.
Okay, let's start deducing. Okay.
You've probably figured out how the culprit stole the jewel by now, eh? Alright, select begin deducing in your case notebook.
Okay.
We have a few plausible theories. Which do you think is right? Well, that seems unlikely. I doubt that would be the case. Why does this one have a star on it?
Okay.
From what we've seen of the crime scene, we can tell that the jewel case was sliced open. After that, the Aurora drop was removed from the case and taken away. Right, and we saw that the jewel case was still locked, which supports that claim. We still need to investigate more to determine how the case was sliced open. But at least now we know how the thief got their hands on the Aurora drop. Yeah, we've made our first step forward.
Okay.
You understand how to use the case notebook now. Yep, once I've got some evidence, I'll start deducing. Feel free to start deducing whenever you feel like it. After investigating the scene, we now know how the crime was carried out. We can be certain that the culprit sliced open the case and took the jewel from inside, but there's just one thing that's strange. Oh yeah? Yeah, think, Tim. What's strange about the way the crime was committed? The jewel storage room was locked. The jewel was stored in this room. The glass was cut, but the door wasn't.
Oh.
The door to the storage room was opened with a key, but the jewel case was still locked when it was sliced apart. That's right, so that means the thief only had one of the keys, the one to the storage room. They didn't have the key to the jewel case. According to Mr. Dennis, only he and Barnes can access the jewel storage room. I understand why the police suspect Barnes, but I'm not sure. I'm not so sure. Obviously, it would be best if we could talk to Barnes ourselves, but he's still being questioned. We need to ask Mr. Dennis about the lock on the jewel case. Right, after we wrap up here, let's go ask him. But I'm done here. Oh well, I don't have to go look for him. He came to me. How's the investigation going, Tim? Oh, Mr. Dennis. Sorry, I couldn't stand just waiting around. Have you discovered anything? It does appear that the culprit used the storage room key to gain entry. We believe they then cut open the jewel case and took the Aurora drop. Is that so? I suppose that doesn't help Barnes much since he has access to the key. I have a question for you, Mr. Dennis. Who has the key to the jewel case? I have it right here. I always carry the key to the jewel case on my person. I've known Barnes a very long time, but I still won't give him this key. The security of the jewel case is my personal responsibility. Got it. So both Barnes and Dennis can access the key to the jewel storage room, but only Mr. Dennis has access to the key to the jewel case itself. That's valuable information, Mr. Dennis. Thank you. Really? I thought that might be getting in the way, but I'm glad to hear I could help. The Aurora drop is meant to become a symbol of revival for Rhyme City. Anyway, I'm counting on you, Tim. A symbol of revival? Let's ask Dennis about that later. The thief cut open the case to steal the jewel, but they had the key to get into the storage room. And the only people who have access to that key are Dennis and Barnes, so it makes sense that the police would suspect Barnes. If the key hadn't been used to unlock the storage room, Barnes wouldn't be under suspicion in the first place. Why would he do that knowing people would suspect him? Maybe he didn't think that far ahead. In any case, based on what we found at the scene of the crime, we can't be certain of anything just yet. We need to talk to Barnes and the other people in the mansion and hear what they have to say. Not just the people, the Pokemon too. I'll interpret for you when we talk to them. Alright, I'm counting on you, Pikachu. Now that we've got our next steps figured out, so let's start interviewing everyone right away. Who's this fancy looking dude? Who's this fancy looking lady? Who's this gorgeous looking Pokemon? Clefairy! Clefairy! Cheer up, Growlithe. I still can't ask questions. Ask me anything you like. About the symbol of revival. What makes it a symbol of revival? 2 years ago, during the R incident, my jewel shop suffered considerable damage. Wait, you were a victim of the R incident? Some Pokemon who had been exposed to R went berserk. Their rampage destroyed my shop. To say nothing of the damage done to my jewels and other goods, but by that time I already had the Aurora Drop. I kept it stored safely in the shop. So was the Aurora Drop damaged too? No, as a matter of fact it wasn't. Of all the jewels in my shop, the Aurora Drop was the only one to remain unscathed. In fact, debris fell so perfectly around the Aurora Drop that you might believe it was being protected. It's incredible. I guess there's some magic left in the world after all. Ever since then, the Aurora Drop became known as the jewel that survived the R incident. People started visiting my shop just to see it. And thanks to all that attention, my business was able to get back on its feet. Sounds like a valuable jewel in more ways than one. What made you decide to bring it back to your mansion instead of keeping it at your shop? I decided to donate it to Rhyme City. The Aurora Drop? But why donate something so precious to you? It's not just precious to me, and that's exactly why I decided to donate it. Mayor Myers had done his part in improving our city by declaring the start of Pokemon Friendship Week. I thought it was about time I did mine. So I wanted to donate the jewel that survived the R incident as a symbol of Rhyme City's revival. I hope that by doing so, I can help liven up not just my shop, but the whole city as well. Wow, Dennis, I'm impressed. That's a wonderful gesture. I'm glad you think so. Not everyone is so pleased about it. Oh? Forget I said anything. I shouldn't burden you with concern over such personal matters. For now, I'm counting on you to find the Aurora Drop as quickly as possible. Understood. We'll do everything we can.
Whoa!
I'm not going out. I'm just putting back so I can get a clearer view of the whole room.
Manic.
Manic! Okay, it's still saying the same thing.
Excuse me?
Yeah. I see.
About my dad. I know this has nothing to do with the current case, but you want to ask me about Harry? Do the police have any new leads on my father's whereabouts? I'm sorry, Tim, but we haven't made any developments on that front. We've been too busy with other cases. Well, thanks anyway. I still don't understand it myself. Harry was working on the R case when he went missing, so it stands to reason that if you followed that thread, you'd find Harry too. But the case has been closed and we still don't have a single clue. Seriously, where did Harry disappear to? Don't be discouraged, Tim. Look at how far you've come in the 2 years since you moved to the city in search of your father. You've become such a great detective that the mayor himself recognized you with an award. You'll find Harry, I'm sure of it, and in the meantime, I'll keep offering whatever help I can. Yeah, you're right. Thanks, Inspector Holiday. Hello? Clefable, not Clefairy. Fab! Oh, it's Clefable. Mrs. Dennis's partner, apparently. Can I ask you a few questions? Faye! Whoa, what gives? No need to be so rude. What's wrong? Seems like she's real suspicious of us. Maybe she's feeling sensitive after the incident here.
Yes? You certainly don't look like you're with the police. State your business.
Yeah, I know, I'm cuter. Ah. Claudia Dennis, Sanjeev Dennis's wife. We're detectives. Mr. Dennis asked us to investigate the incident that occurred here. Detectives? Oh, I suppose my husband did say something about that. Your husband? That must mean you're... Claudia Dennis, Sanjeev's wife. I'm sorry to bother you, but do you mind if I ask you some questions? I do mind, actually. Yeah, you could tell from the smug expression on your face. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. The case has already been solved. What do you mean? The police said that Barnes is behind all this. Admit it, you stole it. You were planning on divorcing him and you wanted your part of the money or something. So the matter is settled. We've heard that he's under suspicion, yes. But we can't be certain that it was Barnes who committed the crime. You sound just like my husband. And is that such a bad thing? Nothing you say will change the fact that Barnes is the culprit. Barnes' partner Ducklet was up to no good. Ducklet, yeah, that's the one with the really bright blue feathers that I was thinking of earlier. I saw it with my own eyes. Did you witness the crime? Barnes' partner Ducklet was involved in the crime? You look as though you don't believe me. It's more your expression that makes you hard to believe. About what you witnessed.
Excuse me?
Is it true that you witnessed the crime? Well, I didn't exactly see it clearly. Huh? But I did witness some irrefutable proof. What exactly did you see? At the time of the incident, I was enjoying a cup of tea in my room on the second floor. Just then, I noticed a bird Pokemon flying outside the window. A bird Pokemon? I clearly saw a blue bird Pokemon. It had to have been Ducklet. We did find blue feathers near the window and in the storage room, so those were Ducklets. In hindsight, she was obviously stealing the jewel. I also heard a faint sound just before that, like something metallic. A metallic sound? Do you know what could have made that noise? I don't, but the storage room was ransacked, wasn't it? I suppose she must have broken something in the act, and I've heard it confirmed that Ducklet's feathers were found in the room. Isn't that proof enough that Barnes is the culprit? She's pretty darn convinced of her own theory. But all it's based on is a metallic sound on the side of a flying bluebird Pokemon. Pretty flimsy if you ask me. Yeah. I'm sorry, Mrs. Dennis, but that information alone isn't enough to definitely prove Barnes is the culprit. Then hurry up and find whoever is and get that jewel back. Isn't that what my husband hired you for? I get that she's upset, but she doesn't have to take it out on us.
Excuse me?
Excuse me? I need to do something about my throat. Keep it hydrated or something. Pop, pop, pop. Pop, pop, pop. How long have I been streaming, actually? Hour and a half. Alright, just put the kettle on. Going while this is happening. Mr. Dennis seems confident that Barnes is innocent. Oh yes, I'm sure he is. He's always been too trusting, especially when it comes to Barnes. Those two really trust each other that much? I'm told Barnes has worked here for a very long time, much longer in fact than I've known Sanjeev. Yeah, maybe he was already the butler to the parents or something. I suppose that's why Barnes is always taking my husband's side. What do you mean by that? He was the young master when he was young, or something like that. Whenever my husband and I have a disagreement, Barnes inevitably sides with Sanjeev. Even though I'm sure he believes he's being impartial, that lack of self-awareness is yet another one of his many flaws. You have a face that says that you're wrong more often than not, and you just want to be right, and people to agree with you, or something. You're from a rich family, aren't you? You're used to being pampered and people doing your will. I get the feeling Claudia is not a huge fan of Barnes. Do you think that's why she's so sure he's a thief? I'm absolutely sure of it. About Ducklet.
Excuse me?
Could you tell me more about Ducklet? Ducklet is Barnes' partner. She dotes on him tirelessly and he's always by his side. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay, the kettle is done. I swear I'm going to invest in a solution so I can make more tea in advance for such occasions as when I'm streaming. Like a good teapot that really keeps the thing warm, or maybe a tea cozy to put around it to keep it hot for a few hours. So I don't have to get up and go make another cup every time I need one. That should be a good investment. You mentioned earlier that she might be involved in the crime somehow. Would Ducklet be capable of such a thing? She even helps Barnes out with his shopping. She'd certainly be capable of making off with a jewel. You know a good one? But I don't know the name. Whether or not Ducklet stole the jewel, the one thing that seems certain is that she really loves Barnes. And if you can find it in Belgium, yeah, that's the major concern, I would say, yeah.
Yes?
I already said I would invest in a better thermos for my coffee, but I have yet to actually deliver on that plan. I just got my tax prediction for this year, and it's actually a good surprise that I will actually get tax return instead of having to pay for something. I might use that money for buying these things when time comes. The Aurora Drop is an incredibly valuable jewel. Mr. Dennis told me the same thing. But do you really understand? Can you even comprehend just how valuable it is? I knew it. Just look at those blank expressions. Hey, my face always looks like this. As it is, I'm not even sure my husband understands the true value of that jewel. After getting his hands on something so precious, why would you want to donate it to Rhyme City? So you're against donating the Aurora Drop? Of course I am. Treasures like that aren't meant to be paraded about for the general public. They should be preserved for quiet observation by a select few. Hard to imagine her quietly doing anything. Who are you?
Hello there, Detective Tim. Oh, I mean, Detective Goodman?
Larry Turner, newest staff member of the Dennis residence. You did it, didn't you? Wait, you are a detective, right? That's what Mr. Dennis said, at least. The name's... Wait, that's not proper enough. Sorry, my name is Larry Turner, and I'm a member of the house staff. House staff, huh? Seems in over his head. If you need anything, just let me know. I mean, please inform me if... Yeah, okay, I can see what they're doing here. He's trying to talk fancy, because he's from a poor family and has... Well, let's just say that he hasn't had the best of educations or something like that to serve a family as rich and esteemed as the Dennis family. You really don't have to be so formal with us, yeah. He's not used to being so formal. Thanks, that's a huge relief. I got this job a while ago, but I'm still not used to talking all fancy. Yeah, I could tell. Uh-oh, is that a problem? Well, it's a good thing for me that Barnes deals with all the important guests. My main duties are taking care of the Pokemon, managing the house, and groundskeeping. And I can handle all that no problem. I don't know, this guy isn't exactly filling me with confidence in his ability to do his job. Nah, just because he can't talk fancy doesn't mean that he is bad at his job. Anyway, you wanted to ask about what happened, right? I mean, I already told the police everything I know. You sound like a culprit saying that, you know? I already told the police everything I know. I'm really sorry for taking up more of your time. He sounds like someone who doesn't want to be questioned anymore. Oh, sorry, that's not what I meant. I'm not complaining or anything. It's just that I don't remember what happened very well. Again, typically what someone guilty would say. Something attacked me out of nowhere and I blacked out. Something attacked him? So not the thief then. Can you please tell us more about that, Mr. Turner? Sure, no problem. Emza Samba? That's the name of it? Search that online and hopefully you should be able to find it. Emza Samba. Emza Samba. Emza Samba. If I don't write it down, I'm gonna forget. Emza Samba. And if I look it up, Emza Samba Thermos. Okay. Yeah, you can get it from Amazon, I guess. Oh, $17.95 with free shipping here. 1 liter is not a lot, though. Okay. Yeah, it seems to exist in more than one size, by the looks of it. I don't need more than one, though. And you say they're really good at keeping things hot for hours? Because that's really what I'm looking for. Something that really works well at keeping things hot for hours. You have 4. It's a simple design, but trust me, it will keep it warm for long. We have 4. Okay. Okay. Well, I don't know if it will show if I show on the camera. If you can tell me if this is the same. Crap. Well, I don't know. Yeah, okay. It should show, I think it should show. Yeah, does that look like that? It's a white one, this one. Is that sort of the same design? That's it? Ah, okay. It's good to know that it's the exact same, because I don't want to be buying something completely different where that just happens to have the same name. Here on Amazon, I see one that's 1.5 liter. Quick press. Keeps things ice cold for 24 hours, it says here, and keeps things warm for at least 12 hours. Well, that's okay. That's rather good. Because the thermos I have right now, it keeps things warm for maybe 2 hours, and that's it. Obviously not quite as good, and I must have paid about the same amount for it. That's what's worse. Those that you buy usually in supermarkets and the like around here are usually not that great. They are not really good investments. But this one, well, if you tell me that it's good, I believe you. Anyway, about the crime that took place. Right, so where to start? I was just doing my job like normal today. I'd made food for the Pokemon, did some cleaning around the mansion, that sort of thing. I think I was tidying the garden when it happened. I saw Ducklet fly out of a 2nd-story window. As I recall, I wondered where she was going. I mean, usually Ducklet just walks out the front door. It seemed weird to me, so I went upstairs to see what was going on. That's when I saw that the door to the jewel storage room was wide open. As if that wasn't shocking enough, the moment I went to look inside, I suddenly got punched by a Pokemon. The next thing I knew, I was lying on a sofa and someone was treating my wounds. Just remember to check the bottom is on tight the first time. Ah, okay. Okay. Duly noted. The Pokemon punched you? I feel like I glimpsed a small red figure for just a moment. Based on the size, it couldn't have been human, so I'm guessing it was a Pokemon. A red Pokemon. Do you know what kind it was? I'm really not sure, it all happened so fast, I see. I'm so sorry that happened to you, but I'm glad you weren't seriously hurt. That's what the doctor said too. No Pokemon would want to steal the Aurora Drop. It's possible that the culprit ordered their partner Pokemon to swipe the jewel and punch out Turner. So Tim, now that you've heard Turner's story, what do you think? We need to find the ducklet that flew out of the window and that red Pokemon too. It could have been a Scizor, I guess. The evolution of Scyther. And it is a bug type, steel type as well, so that would explain the metallic sound. Yep, you got it. About the culprit.
Excuse me?
Did you see anything else when the Pokemon attacked you? The thief who brought the Pokemon along was probably nearby. Also, we only have 4 because, well, we had 2 before, 1 for tea and 1 for coffee. Then we saw a sale and bought 2 more, cause why not? Okay. But yeah, so you have experience with them then. They hold well over time. Like, they don't break, they don't start not doing their job of keeping things warm after a few years or something. You've had them a long time? Unfortunately, that's all I saw. I see. Can you think of any other details that might give us a clue about the culprit? Nothing in particular is coming to mind. I mean, Mr. Dennis is such a nice person. I've never heard of anyone holding a grudge against him, and I was really surprised to hear that Barnes is a suspect. I don't think Barnes is responsible. I guess the police must have some reason to suspect him, but honestly, I just can't believe it. Barnes is still showing me the ropes around here. He's a great co-worker with tons of experience. I mean, if you'd known Barnes before all this, you could never even imagine him being a thief. But he's not trying to pin the blame on someone else, at least if it is him. About the Aurora Drop, do you know anything about the stolen jewel? I've never even seen the thing. I've been shut up in that storage room ever since it was brought to the house. Of course, I know it's valuable and all. I assume that's what's been causing all the arguments between Mr. and Mrs. Dennis lately. Aha! Interesting. We lost one after years of use, but yeah, they hold well. Okay. Well, you've convinced me. I should buy one soon then. I need to order them when I know I'm gonna be on night shift though, so that I can be sure that I'm at home when it gets delivered. Because it obviously won't fit in my mailbox. What sort of arguments? In case you haven't heard, Mr. Dennis says he's gonna donate the Aurora Drop. Seems like Mrs. Dennis is against that plan. They've been fighting about it almost nightly. Every night, it must really be a point of contention. I guess Mrs. Dennis just doesn't want to give up such a valuable jewel. So the Aurora Drop's been driving a wedge between husband and wife, eh? She may have stolen it to prevent him from donating it. That would explain a lot. Now then, Mr. Barnes, will thank you not to leave the mansion until further notice. Understood. Sounds like the police finished questioning Mr. Barnes. Let's go talk to him. Yeah. Brenton Barnes, butler of the Dennis residence. Okay. So, let me remove these tea bags. I must say the music is very much the same as in the first game. It's the same vibe I'm getting from it, is what I meant to say. Alright. My sister's dad always brought one along for camping, so we know it can hold well even if it gets cold outside. Well, that's a relief. I might even recommend one to my parents as well, because they always struggle to find a really good one. Or for my dad when he leaves in his truck. for the night, and he likes to have hot coffee all night to keep him awake and warm himself up. Excuse me. But that needs to be done. Alright. They should sponsor me with the way I'm promoting it. Well, all of that better be true now. How did it come to this? Why are the police so suspicious of me? Excuse me, are you Mr. Barnes? Who might you be? I'm Detective Tim Goodman. Mr. Dennis has hired me to investigate the crime that occurred here. Is that so? Can you... To call a theft a crime? I don't know. Is that really the proper term for that? My apologies, I am Brandon Barnes. I work here at the Dennis residence as a butler. Do you mind if we ask you some questions, Mr. Barnes? I realize you must be tired since you were just questioned by the police. Please don't worry about that. If you've been hired by Mr. Dennis, then it is my duty to give you my full cooperation. Thank you. What would you like me to speak about first? At the time of the incident.
Yes.
I was away when the incident occurred. It wasn't until after I'd finished my errand and entered the house that I realized something was amiss. I heard Turner cry from the second floor. When I rushed upstairs, I found him collapsed on the floor in front of the jewel storage room. So that means Barnes was the first witness to arrive at the scene of the crime. Did you see the thief or their partner Pokemon? No, nothing like that. Wait, if Barnes ran up the stairs, you'd think he would have run straight into the thief. If he didn't see anyone, could they have escaped from the second floor? Through the window? If it was a flying Pokemon, he could have flown off on his Pokemon, like a Corviknight or something. It's big enough. Did you check the storage room? The door was already open, and when I looked inside, I saw the Aurora Drop was gone. I then contacted Mr. Dennis and the police right away. Is there anyone who can corroborate your whereabouts at the time? I don't take responsibility for anything unless it works out. Yeah, I can imagine. Don't worry, I won't file a formal complaint to denounce you to the the makers, the makers of the products. Like, I want to tell you about her. She's been advertising your product, and it turned out she was wrong. Like, who's this person? We don't know anything about her. Unfortunately not. It was only afterward that Mrs. Dennis came out of her room to see what the commotion was about. And the only others in the house at the time were Growlithe and Clefable. Naturally, no one can take witness statements from Pokemon, so I'm afraid I have no alibi. That's where we come in. The Pokemon that live in this mansion might know something. Mr. Barnes, do you have any idea who the thief might be? Excuse me. Not a clue, I'm afraid, but I do know that Mr. Dennis and I are the only ones who can freely use the key to the jewel storage room. Growlithe guards the key with constant vigilance, so I imagine it would be very difficult for anyone else to take it from her. I suppose it's no great wonder that the police suspect me, given the circumstances, but I would never do something so senseless. At least this confirms that only those two have access to the key.
Yes.
Ducklet is my dear partner Pokemon. Just look at this photo. That's Ducklet with you there? Yes, isn't she adorable? Just look at her feathers, simply beautiful. But that's not all. She's also incredibly clever and even helps me out with my work. Oh, excuse me. I'm terribly sorry, I tend to get a bit carried away when I speak about Ducklet. It's really no problem. You mentioned that she helps out with your work. What exactly does she do? Let's see. She runs errands for me, such as buying coffee beans from a local cafe. Oh, she buys coffee beans. Nice. There's a place nearby called... the High Hat Cafe. Perhaps you've heard of it? She regularly goes shopping there by herself. If that's their go-to cafe, then it's gotta be for the High Hat blend. Guess I shouldn't be surprised that Rhyme City's elites have shown such refined taste. I asked her to go to the cafe today, in fact, but she hasn't yet returned. Could she have wandered off somewhere? Do you have any idea where Ducklet might be? Unfortunately, no. The feathers found at the scene of the crime are Ducklet's, right? No question about it, but I haven't the faintest idea why Ducklet's feathers would be there. Just the thought of her getting caught up in the crime somehow, I'm so worried I can hardly think straight. Out of all the jewels in Mr. Dennis's collection, he considers the Aurora Drop to be his most precious. He worked tirelessly to acquire it in the first place. You might even say the Aurora Drop is the physical manifestation, the crystallization of Mr. Dennis's career as a jeweler. I wish nothing but swift retribution on the thief who stole it from him. For someone who speaks so formally, Barnes is a pretty passionate guy, isn't he? Please, Tim, find the Aurora Drop. I beg you. Don't worry, sir. We're on the case.
Well...
Based on Barnes' testimony, I'm really not surprised the police suspect him. Yeah, if only there was another witness at least. About that, aren't you forgetting something, Tim? Growlithe, I say! Barnes told us that Growlithe and Clefable were in the mansion at the time of the incident, remember? Maybe the Pokemon saw something. You can leave the rest to me. Let's go question them, Tim.
Tim.
I've wanted to question them since the start.
Yo, Manectric! Working hard? Hey, what did I ever do to you?
Babel! She still looks awfully suspicious of us. Let's try again later. Hey Growlithe, sorry to bug you when you're already feeling down, but would it be alright if we asked you some questions? We're here to catch the thief, and we need your help to do that. Gao. You're willing to talk to us if it'll help Sanji? Thanks. Sanji? Growlithe is nickname for Dennis, near as I can tell. His full name is Sanjeev Dennis, so I guess Sanji makes sense. Anyway, Growlithe, can we start with the questions? Growl. Gotcha. As Dennis's partner, it's your job to guard the mansion. And we already know the key to the jewel storage room was around your neck. It's important to Dennis, so guarding it is important to you. Makes sense. She says she'd never let anyone other than Dennis or Barnes even touch the key. So that's why you feel extra responsible for what happened, huh? He's really got a strong sense of responsibility. Don't worry, the two of us are gonna crack this case.
Well...
Do you remember anything about the time of the incident? You don't know because you were napping? What? Your breakfast was so tasty that you ate too much and it made you sleepy? Some sleeping medicine in it, more like. Been there, believe me. What are you even talking about? You woke up when Barnes got home. That would have been right before all the commotion happened. And when you woke up, your precious key was gone. No, it might have been Clefable doing a lullaby, singing a lullaby, I guess. That's one of the signature moves of the Pokemon. Putting other people to sleep. And when you woke up, your precious key was gone. Yeah, I can tell you're upset. You'll do whatever it takes to help us catch a thief. Thanks. We'll come ask for an assist if anything comes up. She says Barnes is a kind and well-mannered person. He and Dennis are close and she's never seen them fighting or arguing. Mr. Dennis really does seem to trust Barnes after all. And Growlithe likes Barnes too. Judging from what Growlithe says, it's hard to think of Barnes as a likely culprit. There wasn't anything in Growlithe's testimony that could help us prove Barnes' innocence. Only one left to ask is Clefable. I'll do what I can to get Clefable talking to us. Thanks, Pikachu. Fable! What, you think we're thieves returning to the scene of the crime? You got it all wrong, we're not here to steal anything. We're actually great detectives looking to catch the thief. Please, can you answer some questions? Faye? Yes, really, come on, you can trust us. Faye? Yeah, help us out and I'm sure Claudia's bad mood will clear up too. Faye. So you're willing to talk to us? Thanks. Guess Clefable was worried it would do something bad to Mrs. Dennis.
Hey.
Well, don't be so sure. I think she's a thief now, so... Do you have a job here at the mansion? Faye. no job per se, unless you count spending time with Claudia. Isn't it tough hanging out with someone so prickly? Faye! Claudia is not a bad person, you say. Sorry, didn't mean to be insulting. Faye! So Claudia is always arguing with someone or other. But when it's just you and her together, she starts to regret the whole thing? Ah, I get it now. Your job is to cheer her up when she gets into arguments. Wow, you're actually pretty nice. I bet Clefable is pretty important to Mrs. Dennis. Did anything strange happen today? Hey, Clefable is saying she got real sleepy while playing in the mansion this morning. Oh? Even her? Then she dozed off and doesn't know what happened after that. That's too bad. What do you think of Barnes? Do you get along with him alright? I think Whimsicott may have something to put other Pokemon to sleep as well, come to think of it, in its move pool. What do you think of Barnes? Do you get along with him alright? Faye. Claudia doesn't like Barnes, so Clefable tries not to have much to do with him. But she doesn't think Barnes is a bad person. After all, she says Barnes ran to help Turner when he got hurt. Wait, does that mean Clefable saw Barnes going upstairs to help Turner? Yeah, it's gotta. Clefable, what else can you tell us? Faye. Clefable was dozing near the front door this morning. When Barnes got home from doing stuff outside, she woke up and greeted him at the door. Faye. Then Clefable and Barnes heard Turner cry out on the second floor, so they both went running upstairs. And that's when, to their surprise, they found Turner on the floor. But wait a minute. Oh yeah, Barnes, yeah. Not Sanjeev. That means when Turner was attacked, Barnes was still on the floor.
Okay, let's start deducing. Okay.
We've got some useful information. Let's stop for a moment and get our thoughts together. Based on everything we've heard, is there anything that suggests Barnes is innocent? Let's review the information we gathered and see what we come up with. I think I have an option turned on that tells me the right answer every time. The one with the star. Barnes may not be the culprit. He returned to the mansion after the crime had occurred. I'm gonna turn that off.
Okay.
When given the chance. We learned that Clefable greeted Barnes when he returned to the mansion. And Drolife said she woke up at exactly the same time. Barnes and the others only became aware of the crime after that. Doesn't that mean Barnes could be the culprit? Barnes was on the first floor when Turner was attacked. That would have made it very difficult for Barnes to steal the jewel. I'm not sure we can prove Barnes' innocence with that alone. We can't exactly disclose that testimony came from Pokemon. No one would believe us. It looks like we're going to need other evidence to prove his innocence. Barnes has an alibi. We can't lift the suspicion around Barnes with Clefable's testimony alone. I think we're going to need some other kind of evidence to prove his innocence. But where should we look for it? Nothing immediately comes to mind. At times like this, it's best to try investigating other leads. We might find a threat somewhere unexpected that leads us back to this. To get close to the truth of this case, we've got no choice but to find the Pokemon that witnesses saw. Witnesses reported seeing a red Pokemon in Ducklet. I wonder if the Pokemon that cut open the jewel case is the culprit's partner. It makes sense to think that, but no such human was seen by witnesses. Having said that, though, we might learn something if we can find the red Pokemon. Let's head into the city and get some leads on that red Pokemon. I'm sure we'll be able to figure out what Pokemon it actually is. At this point, it seems pretty unlikely that Barnes is the culprit, but then why did Ducklet leave from the second floor window? Seems unlikely that it's got nothing to do with the jewel theft. Finding Ducklet would be the quickest way to confirm that. Good call. Let's head into the city and look for her.
Okay.
I don't have enough information.
Okay.
Looks like the only way to continue our investigation is to gather info in the city. But where should we go? Should we go after Ducklet or search for the red Pokemon? Well, both. If you're unsure, why don't we try following Ducklet? I think we have a better lead to go on for that than for the red Pokemon. We did hear that Ducklet was supposed to go buy coffee beans today. I'll bet you she went to the High Hat Cafe. You're right. We should probably go search the cafe. Let's not waste any time, Tim.
You know, Tim, we're really living the good life at our apartment. A huge mansion like this must be a pain to clean.
Huh? You mean you won't help me? I understand how you feel, man, but we're in the middle of an investigation right now. But what should I do? Looks like that woman has a problem. Sure does. I doubt it has anything to do with our case, but it's hard not to want to help someone who's in trouble. That's the spirit, Tim. If we see a person or a Pokemon with a problem, let's do what we can to help them. That's what makes us this city's great detectives. But we do need to prioritize our current case. This is something we can help with when we have time. Right, first let's hear what she has to say. Good idea. Uh-huh. Local concerns. Mm-hmm. Excuse me, may I ask what's wrong? My Lillipup's gone missing. Oh no, what happened? We were taking a walk together in Serenity Park. I guess Lillipup must have been having too much fun. He got so worked up he took off like a rocket. I've been searching all over for him and now I'm exhausted. That police officer won't look into it for me either. I don't know what to do. We can't just ignore this. That's right, helping people is a detective's job, and finding lost Pokemon even more so. We'd like to help you, ma'am. We're detectives, so we're pretty good at looking for lost people and Pokemon. Really? That would be a huge help. Can you think of anywhere your Lillipup might have gone? Well, I've already searched the park pretty thoroughly, but I haven't looked for him in the city yet. Also, my Lillipup likes quiet places, but I'm not sure there are any places like that around here. I think that's enough information for us to go on. Please wait here while we search for him. I'm so sorry to add to your workload when you already look so busy, but thank you. I hope you find my sweet Lillipup. If we see a Lillipup during our investigation, we should talk to it. Serenity Park. I think this was a location in the first game already, no? I think so? This is Serenity Park. It's where everyone goes for a break from the busy city. So it's popular with people in Pokemon. Sometimes you'll find Pokemon here you wouldn't normally see in the city. You might want to swing by for a walk when you've got some free time. Yeah, I think this location was already in the previous game. But you could not go where I just came from, though. That's as far west, I guess I should say, that I could go.
Raboot!
Score a hat trick. Raboot. It's Raboot, a Pokemon known for its excellent footwork. Rab. What's it saying, Pikachu? It wants us to be quiet because it's trying to think up a practice routine. Oh, I see. Let's leave it alone then. Pseudo-Wudo, unmoving as a tree. Wudo! Wow, I was just thinking this was an odd place for a tree, but it's actually a Pokemon. That's a Pseudo-Wudo. They have a habit of pretending to be trees. Pseudo! You're practicing your tree imitation, huh? Does it have to practice right here? Seems like it'll block a lot of foot traffic. Yeah, true. Hey, Pseudo-Wudo, if you want to practice, you should try doing it somewhere else. This location totally blows your cover. Pseudo-Wudo! That sure seemed to send him into a panic. I guess it thought it was blending in perfectly. Yeah, I always get confused, but they're not grass-type Pokemon, sadly. They're rock-type. I always get confused about that. Purloin, adorable deceiver. Purr, 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 purr. This Pokemon is being awfully friendly. I could watch Purloin all day and never get bored. Serena's partner. This is a fountain for Pokemon to drink from. My Serena really loves the water here. Okay. Office worker. Someone must have replanted that tree in the flower bed, but when? Ah, the Sudowoodo. Okay. Combi. Ribombi. Oh, okay. My mistake. Have some pollen puffs. Oh, look, a Ribombi. Ribombi makes pollen and nectar to make all kinds of different puffs. Boom, boom. Boom, bomb. It sure seems busy. Bomb, boom. Apparently it's making pollen puffs from its cutie fly to eat. Those little bugs have big appetites while they're growing up, so it's got to prepare a ton of food. Sounds like a lot of work. Let's just watch and try not to get in the way.
You there! Wait, you wouldn't happen to be that great detective duo, would you?
Charles Murlock, scientist.
I am such a huge fan of yours!
I was gonna say, you look shady. Oh dear, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Charles Murlock. I'm a scientist working here in Rhyme City to deepen our understanding of Pokemon. Scientist, huh? What's that? You'd like to hear more about what I do? Actually, my research has been recognized by Mayor Myers himself. Now I'm helping out with a new policy that he and the city council are working on. You might say I'm the brains behind Rhyme City's latest policies. This guy is intense. He seems like the type who doesn't even listen to what others are saying. If you two great detectives have any questions for me, by all means fire away. After all, I have something in common with you both. We're all working to help Rhyme City. We're all coming from the same place, comrades with the same goals. So I'm prepared to answer any questions you have. Thank you. Guess our only choice is to play along for a bit. What a drag.
Excuse me?
What sorts of research are you doing, Mr. Murlock? My research explores the nature of communication between people in Pokemon. Sounds complicated. No, it's quite simple, really. We're just trying to help Pokemon understand human language. Imagine what that would do for Rhyme City. It would make life here so much more entertaining and simple. A whole city where people in Pokemon can go back and forth like we can, huh? That really would make Rhyme City an even better place, don't you think?
Excuse me?
What exactly do you do to help the mayor with policy development? My domain is science, not politics. I can't actually propose new legislation. What I can do, though, is develop new machines and equipment. I also help distribute them to the people in Pokemon of Rhyme City. I'm proud to contribute to my city with the power of science. It's wonderful, isn't it? Mayor Myers came up with the idea for a bill to help people in Pokemon coexist. So I feel duty-bound to use my position as a scientist to support it. Sounds like he's warming up for a speech. I can tell how passionate you are about improving the city.
Oh, can I ask you a favor, Pikachu? Would you allow me to give you a quick health exam?
Creepy!
Ow! Hey, what'd you just do to me?
Oh dear, is Pikachu upset with me? I only plucked a bit of fur, and the test results should be ready in just a moment. What exactly are you doing? This is the machine I created at Mayor Myers' request. It can measure a Pokemon's vital signs in record time. In other words, it's made to quickly check a Pokemon's health. I'd say that's a good thing for both people and their partners, wouldn't you? Yeah, it sure sounds like it, but way to bury the what? Leedy? Okay, it's ready. Now let me see. What's it say? It's detecting caffeine. Someone say caffeine. Seeing as he's working as a detective, I figured it was no ordinary Pikachu. But these results are truly fascinating. Hello, Mr. Murloc? Oh, do forgive me. He's quite alright. No problems at all. I suppose his triglycerides are a bit high for a Pokemon. He likes sugar in his coffee, maybe. My what? It's cholesterol that is derived from sugar intake. Triglycerides, or glycerides, or however you pronounce it in English. He does seem slightly different from a regular Pikachu, though. Is there something weird about me? Well, now that you've finished your checkup, I think we'd better get going. Ah yes, sorry to have taken up so much of your time. Good luck, great detectives. Thank you. Come on, Pikachu, stop sulking and let's go. High triglycerides. Yeah, you can get cholesterol from taking too much sugar. That depends from one person to the next, though. But it's something that runs in my family, so I know that it's something I need to pay attention to. What a neat formation. It's mesmerizing to watch. Lockstep formation. Legs. Lee. There sure are a lot of amazing Pokemon around. These ones are so well coordinated. Do you need to complete a collection or something? I was gonna say by seeing as many Pokemon as possible.
This is the top, yeah?
Look at that, Pikachu.
Huh?
From here, you have a perfect view of the dentist residence.
And the window open is the one to that room. Hey, Tim, what are you thinking? Pretty sure that window is the one in front of the jewel storage room. Ah, yeah, the one in front. A Pokemon capable of flying could go straight into the mansion from here. If our thief was getting help from a Pokemon, this would be the perfect vantage point. Aha! Whimsicott Cotton. That's a hint, right? That's a clue. What's this cotton doing here? Just looks like trash to me. What, there's nothing else I can examine around here? More stuff. Oh, come on, Lickitung, stop the can. He keeps getting distracted. Licked ever flavor life has to offer. Lick, lick. What a long tongue. It's a map of Serenity Park. This park's huge. The terrace is all the way on the other side. Well, that's where I went. Whimsy! Cut. They seem happy. What are they talking about? They're saying that no matter how many times they visit the city, it's always bustling and full of fun. Do you suppose they witnessed anything? You can certainly ask. About the red Pokemon. Cut. A Ponyard is red, and you've recently become friends with one. Ah yeah, I see which one they mean. It's a Pokemon with blades all over its body, and it's true that Ponyard's pretty red. Well, they can be blue as well, no? Whimsicott, cut. You often run into Ponyard at the terrace in Serenity Park, and on windy days you play with Ponyard by picking it up and flying it around. Whim! They said they like to fly Ponyard all the way here from Serenity Park. Serenity Park is the big park just beyond here, right? And the terrace is way over on the far side. Maybe we can find Ponyard there. Do you remember when you last played with Ponyard? I guess I was supposed to talk to these guys before going to the terrace then. Whimsy? Oh, lately you've been playing together every day, even today. In that case, we might be able to find it there now. Whimsy. If we go meet Ponyard, we should be careful about how we treat its favorite rock. It has a favorite rock? Apparently there's a rock at the terrace that Ponyard really cares about. One time they accidentally stepped on it and then Ponyard got mad, real mad. Oh, that's scary. We better watch where we step. I don't suppose they've seen Ducklet around, have they? Whim? Whimsy! Whim! Okay, I get it, you didn't see her. Whimsy! If they didn't see her, I wonder where she went. Whim! Oh, you're right, on seasonal winds that take you all over the world, huh? The city seems even livelier than usual when the Whimsicott arrive. Whimsy! Oh, okay, soon you'll be leaving the city to travel somewhere else. You like coming here every year because you can meet so many different Pokemon? Oh, I'm happy to hear that. About the cotton? Is this cotton yours? Whim! Yeah, the Whimsicott say it's theirs. We actually found this in Mr. Dennis's mansion. I don't suppose you've been in there. Well, it could be any Whimsicott. Whimsy? Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. Come on, you gotta remember at least that much. Whimsy. Oh, this one does remember. What did it say? It thinks it remembers going into the mansion while playing with its friends. It thinks so. That's not a very clear answer. Let's ask for more details.
Hey.
You said you might have been in the mansion, but how did you get inside? You went in through the window with your friends? Why would you do that? You don't remember anything after eating breakfast this morning? The heck does that mean? Please, it's really important. Just try to remember. Whimsy! Some human you don't know asked you to do it? What was the stranger like? Whimsy! You don't remember because it was someone who you'd never seen before, huh? Now look here, you might be an accessory to theft. Caught? You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you? You think the Whimsicott may have been unknowingly involved in a crime? If they were, they're blissfully ignorant of it. After all, playing pranks is kind of their whole deal. This complicates things. Do you suppose Ponyard is the red Pokemon we're looking for? Apparently it's good friends with the Whimsicott that went into the mansion. So it seems pretty likely. It'd probably be fastest just to go meet it and ask, but we still have to track down Ducklet. Should we look for Ducklet or Ponyard first? Either is fine by me. We can start with whichever one you like. Thanks, Pikachu. Cuckoo! If it isn't Pido, glad to see you're feeling better now. Who am I? What do you mean? I just rescued you a little while ago. It's forgotten the whole thing. Well, Pidove are known for their forgetfulness. Well, pigeons don't exactly have a look on their face of being the most intelligent creatures on Earth. So... they're basically flying rats after all. Garbodor?
Drub! Hey,
no.
Wait up!
It's their evolution Garbodor, isn't it?
It's gone.
Oh.
It ran down the street, right? Let's follow it so we can ask some questions. I just hope we can find it. It's not here. Must be hiding somewhere. Well, no point hanging around here. Let's go interview someone else. That seems like a quiet place for a ducklet to hide at. No, nothing here. Yeah, that seems like a pretty quiet corner. Lilypup. Did someone say walkies? Little. Say, Pikachu, isn't this... Yeah, it's Lilypup. It may indeed be the partner of that woman we met in the front of the dentist residence. Let's ask. Hey there, Lilypup. What are you doing way over here? Pup. I see. Apparently he was having so much fun running around that he wasn't paying attention to where he was going. Next thing he knew, he was here. Just like that woman said earlier. Lil? He says he misses his partner. Okay, we're gonna go tell her and bring her here to you, Lilypup. Lilypup, I'm so glad you've been found. Thank you so much for finding my dear Lilypup, Detective. You're welcome. I'm glad we could help. You ran away because you weren't getting enough playtime, didn't you? Lil. Alright, then we can play together as much as you like today. Pup, pup. Guess that's settled. Yeah, it was nice to see them both so happy. Lilypup loves to go for walks. When his partner took him outside, he suddenly ran off. Help look for Lilypup. Yeah, that's completed. Yeah. Okay. Well, the Pokemon that ran away, I guess I should be able to find it near the trash, right? It is a trash Pokemon. Well, there it is.
Robert? Oh.
It got away again. It seems real scared of humans. Well, I bet it's in here. This is real bad. That boy looks pretty down. Sorry to bother you, but is everything okay? You look unhappy about something. You're the detective and Pikachu I saw on TV. Awesome, a detective is just what I need. Can you tell us what's bothering you? Well, we've got a match coming up against the Tanty Park Soccer Club. I didn't know Tanty Park even had a soccer club. One of their members is as crafty as their partner, and they're so good. So I'm worried we're gonna lose. I want a partner Pokemon I can play with too. I just saw one. Can't find any Pokemon that are good at soccer. You didn't call it soccer. Gotcha. Sounds like we'd better search for a Pokemon with good footwork. Can you think of any Pokemon that can play soccer really well, Mr. Detective? Not immediately spring to mind, but I'll be sure to tell you if I find one. Really? Thanks, Mr. Detective. Sure hope we can find a Pokemon that likes playing soccer. There's gotta be one somewhere in Rhyme City. Well, I already know where to find one. No, okay, this is the same dialogue as before. That sweet smell is irresistible. They must be using Combi's honey. Let's come back and try some after we're done with the case.
Indeed.
Indeed. It's a very agreeable Pokemon, isn't it? It's always saying indeed, indeed, indeed. Something is shining in the fountain. What could it be? Inkay! Lil jump scare. Inkay! Ah! I knew I saw something. It was a Pokemon. It's an Inkay, Tim. It lights up its spots to communicate with friends. Never figured it'd use those lights to lure someone in close enough for a prank. Yeah, it's definitely surprised me. Inke! Hey, Inke, maybe go easy on the jump scares, okay? Watchog! Self-appointed city patrol. What are you up to? Chog. Watchog's hobby is observing things around the city. In that case, maybe it's seen something useful. Can't hurt to ask. About you? Oh, you never get bored in the city because there are so many different people in Pokemon to watch? Must be fun having eyes like yours, especially since they let you see in the dark. I was about to remark, actually, that its eyes remind me of, oh, what's the name of that character again in, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Judge... Well, the judge that's played by Christopher Lloyd and who is actually a cartoon character that kills humans, right? Because of the yellow and red eyes, that's what that reminds me of. But I can't remember the name, it's the judge anyway. Who's actually a tune about ducklets. Watch up. What, really? Chug. What's it saying? You gotta tell me too. Right, sorry, it says it saw Ducklet pass by here. If she passed by here, she was probably on her way to the cafe after all. Watchog! There are so many red Pokemon, you don't know which one we mean? Good point. Do we know anything else about it? We know it's a Pokemon that it can use a move to slice clean through hard objects that can easily knock down a human with a punch. Watcho? You haven't seen any Pokemon like that around here. Alright then. These menu items use all sorts of different berries. With so many choices, they could cater to any Pokemon's tastes. I wanted to talk to that Pokemon though. Nah, stop. Watchog!
Whoa!
This is not the cafe that they kept going to in the first game, is it? Or maybe it is, actually. Yeah, it is. Because I recognize the guy behind the counter. And Ludicolo.
Tim!
Rachel Myers, student at Rhyme University.
Hello there.
Jessica Miller, Rachel's friend. Wow, what a coincidence running into you here. Yeah, I'm as surprised as you are. I think I've seen this girl somewhere before. Oh, I remember. Howard's notebook. She's the girl from the photo. Yes, Pikachu, this is Rachel. We go to college together. She's the mayor's daughter. Right. And you said she knows a lot about Pokemon too, didn't you? And she's just a classmate, or... See, this is why I don't like telling you about my personal life. I'm just looking out for you. I never hear you talk about actually having fun with people. Yeah, we know what kind of fun you mean, Pikachu. Well, anyway, who's the woman next to her? I know about as much as you do. I don't think we've met before. Hey, Jessica, have you heard of these? Of course, it's an honor to meet the great detectives. By the way, Tim, were you talking to Pikachu just now? Oh, what? No way. No need to be embarrassed. I totally understand the urge to talk with your partner. But now that you're here, why don't you chat with us for a bit? Yeah, sure. Yeah, just a sec. At work, they say if you don't know what to do, just ask Slowking. His job sounds really interesting. If at work you only have to do like Slowking, that must be how should I say, relaxing. A contrabass. Now that's stylish. I think I'll give it a strum. Stop it. The cafe's open right now, you know. It's Pablo's piano. I doubt he has much time to play it with the cafe busy. When the cafe is busy.
Let me see.
What a great looking drum set. I think I'll take it for a whirl. Please don't. The cafe is open right now, you know. Records and sheet music. This is Pablo's collection. He's got everything from old classics to the newest hits. He must have a broad taste in music.
Well,
this instrument is called a conga. Did you know that? You tap out the beat with both hands. Even I can play this thing. Come on, now is really not the time for that. Hey there, buddy.
Well, look who it is.
Pablo Milan, owner of the Hi-Hat Cafe. Ludicolo. Cheerful cafe assistant manager. Assistant manager. Lulu D. Looks like she's in a good mood as always. Do you think she might know something? She might. We can ask. About you. You say you got an ear for rock now, not just jazz. Luludi. Apparently a Politoad and its friends put on concerts here at night. And you really love that music, so that's how you went from jazzist to rocker? I'd love to hear Politoad's concert sometime. About Ducklet. Have you seen Ducklet recently? She says Ducklet comes to the cafe pretty often. Pablo knows more about that apparently. Ludi! Oh, and you sometimes see Ducklet at Serenity Park? Ludi! I see, so the pond water there is good for your fur, and you meet Ducklet there sometimes when you go to bathe? How nice that you tell each other about good swimming spots. I guess water-type Pokemon get along swimmingly with each other. Ah! That's a horrible pun! Shut up! Shut up, Tim. Just shut up. Looks like Pablo's got some new coffee beans. Let Pikachu handle the dad jokes. Maybe tonight I'll come back by myself to try them out. Which means I'll be paying your tab as always, so don't go overboard, okay? Some kids are walking on railway tracks. What movie is this? Stand By Me? It's a famous movie about some kids and their summer adventure. I think it is Stand By Me, right? The movie where kids are walking on train tracks. Sure seem to know a lot about it, Pikachu. Oh look, a big group of Bidoof appeared. Wow. Oh yeah, such an emotional scene. Wait, I can't keep watching. I'll forget about that case. Let's go, Tim. Milcery. Rich with flavor and fortune. It's made of milk cream. Mill. Oh, it's Milcery. Hey Pablo, got a new customer? Oh, you mean this Milcery? It's new, it just started living here in fact. Wonder what sort of place it's from. Mill. Well, hey, hold on, Milcery. Both Tim and Pikachu have particular blends they prefer. You can't just add cream without asking. Cream from its body, you! Mill, I'd prefer to keep my coffee black, but why don't you try some cream, Tim? Sure, and it smells great. I'll give it a try next time. Mill. You!
Whoa!
Please don't.
Hey.
Hey, hi Tim, did something happen today? I noticed you weren't here this morning. Yeah, I got caught up in a new case. Oh, sounds rough. Do you mind if I ask you some questions? Me? Sure, go right ahead. About the Hi-Hat Cafe.
Excuse me?
Must have been really busy moving your cafe to this new location. Do you feel all settled in now? Yeah, it is indeed not the same place. I thought the layout inside looked different. Yeah, you entered from the right, actually, in the original one. And there was not such a large space for a stage, either. Feels like things are finally back to normal. I know Pikachu's been coming here on his own to drink your coffee. I hope he hasn't been causing you any trouble. Trouble? Me? I'm a paying customer once you pick up my tab. Not at all. The cafe is way closer to your place now, and it seems like Pikachu feels comfortable here. And the Hi-Hat Cafe always welcomes Pokemon customers.
Hey.
The butler from the Dennis Mansion? Yeah, he swings by the cafe pretty often after he's done with work. Barnes is a regular customer. Yeah, he loves coffee and jazz, so we've got plenty to talk about. But apparently he's been really stressed lately, so he hasn't been stopping by as much. I think if I had a place like that down the street from me, I would probably go there too. To enjoy the jazz and the coffee. If it's affordable. Did you know that in Animal Crossing New Horizons, when you get close enough to Brewster, he will ask if you want to add pigeon milk? Ew! His milk! Ew! Not that pigeons make milk, I guess, but... I did not know that, Manican, no. I never played New Horizons. You can either say yes please or you no, and I love Brewster too much to say you. But still, though. Milk from his body. No. Well, I guess regular milk is from someone's body as well. And most of us have had milk from our moms, so it's been really stressed, huh? You should probably ask for more details about that. Stressed? Do you know why Barnes was stressed? Was he worried about something? Well, I'm not sure it's my place to tell you about a customer's personal matters. Please, we're just trying to help. It's for Barnes' sake. Ah, so this is for a case, huh? Then I guess I'd better tell you. He was worried about the jewel that Mr. Dennis was planning to donate to Rhyme City. Apparently, the Dennises had a difference of opinion about that. Barnes was trying to come up with a compromise that would satisfy both of them. Compromise, sorry. You sent me something? Cool, you want pigeon milk in that? Okay. I like the cozy vibe in his place, I have to say. Nice. Barnes was trying to come up with a compromise that would satisfy both of them, but he said he just wound up getting stuck in the middle of the argument. That does sound stressful. I remember him saying he wished there was no jewel in the first place. He wished there was no jewel, huh? Anyway, that's all I know. I hope it helps. Yes, thank you. About Ducklet.
Excuse me?
Do you know the Ducklet that lives at the Dennis residence? Yeah, I know her. You're talking about Barnes' partner, right? She often comes here all on her own to buy coffee beans. She really is a clever little Pokemon. Just like Barnes said. She always comes with this cute little bag that I fill with beans for her. As far as I know, she takes them straight back to the mansion. In fact, she left with her usual order a couple of minutes ago. Oh. Really?
Okay, let's start deducing.
Yeah, but there are ladies to talk to.
It is such an honor to meet you, Tim. Thank you for solving the R case. You have no idea what that meant to me.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
I see news about your accomplishments on TV all the time. You're quite the celebrity. Uh-oh. She's smitten. Celebrity, I wouldn't go quite that far. No need to be modest, you're a great detective after all. Jessica used to work with my mother years ago. That's how we met and we've been friends ever since. Oh, I see. But it's been a while since we've met up like this. About 2 years, I think. We've both been so busy lately, there just hasn't been time to get together. I had no idea you'd become friends with the famous great detective. Were you surprised? Yes, of course. Hey, I'm the great detective. By the way, Tim, I work at the pizzeria in Bamboo Borough. If you're ever in the area, stop by, I'll treat you to one of our awesome pizzas. Oh boy. Alright, did you hear that, Tim? Let's go sometime. Pizza place where Jessica works is actually pretty famous. Sounds great, I'd love to go. I'll take you up on that offer. I'll be waiting. Oh boy!
Okay, let's start deducing.
Yeah, she has a thing for him, alright.
You must be working hard, huh?
Yeah, he's actually more helpful than he looks.
That's pretty impressive, Pikachu.
Come on, Tim, you can give me a better compliment than that. You seem different from usual somehow. Don't tell me that award my dad gave you is already starting to change you. No, of course not. I'm the same as I've always been. Are you sure? I mean, we don't really know each other all that well. Maybe you have the wrong impression of me. No way, I've had my eye on you for a while now, Tim. Aww. Pigeon milk is something they produce to their youngs, and it's a sign that Brewster cares for you, that he will produce it for you, so I can't hurt my favorite boy. Oh, I did not know that, actually, that they do produce milk. But I guess it's not milk, as in it coming from some mammal glands, I guess. Because they're not mammals, they're birds, so... Is that something that they spit out of their mouth or something? I've had my eye on you for a while now, Tim. Excuse me? Does she mean what I think she means? It's like I have a front row seat to the great detective in action. It feels like an exciting new adventure could break out at any moment. Ah, right. Not the other thing. Did you get your hopes up for a moment there, Tim? Yeah, but the other woman... I mean, you have a chance there, I say. Quiet, you. Tim, there's actually something I wanted to talk to you about. What's up? Well, it's about something going on at home. Sounds serious. I'm not sure how much help I'll be, but you can always talk to me. I don't want to waste your time, though. Don't worry about it, I'm working right now, but we could meet up tonight if you're free. Sure, that works. Thank you, Tim. Okay, then how about you stop by my apartment later this evening? Real smooth, Tim. Hey, not bad, Tim. Aren't we supposed to have dinner with your family tonight? Yeah, but this sounds serious. I can't just brush her off. Yeah, if the family is around. Both genders do, in fact. It's also called crop milk, which sounds a lot nicer, to be honest. This sounds serious. I can't just brush her off. The least I can do is hear her out for a little bit. Fair enough. I'm sure your family will understand.
Okay, let's start to do something.
Okay, Pikachu, I'm getting to it. Jeez. Ducklet is nowhere to be found at the Dennis residence. Find out where she went.
Okay.
I should turn this off. It's telling me which is the right answer every time. Did you figure out where Ducklet went after she left the mansion? Let's piece together the information we've gathered. Well, it's this one. Well, we already knew that, kinda. Apparently she goes there on a regular basis to buy them. Today was one of those days, and Pablo said that he handed Ducklet our usual order of coffee beans. So I guess Ducklet headed back to the mansion then. She might be back there already.
Okay.
Let's head back to the mansion to search for Ducklet. Good idea.
Tim. Hey, Tim. Jessica seems really grateful to us for solving the R case 2 years ago. Nice to know our hard work wasn't for nothing.
Yeah, I still gotta look for the right Pokemon, and I want to help out that kid who wanted a Pokemon good at soccer. Pokeball, go! I think I enjoy more the music in this one, I would say. Maybe it's because the fidelity allows them to go for more interesting music tracks. What in the world were you doing? My apologies, sir. Did something happen, Brad? Ducklet was spotted near the mansion just now, but when my subordinates tried to catch her, they let her escape. Oh, so Ducklet had just gotten back to the mansion. Do you know where she ran off to? Unfortunately, I do not, and I don't have the resources to keep searching. At this point, I'll have to call in the services of the Pokemon Protection Bureau. You, tell the inspector that I'm heading back to the station for a moment. Yes, sir. Well, Brad and Manectric are gone. But still, we have no idea where Ducklet could have run off to. Where would we even start looking? Well, now what? Should we put the search for Ducklet on hold and look for the red Pokemon instead? Yeah, sure, that's better than just spinning our wheels. There are still places we haven't looked. Let's check them out. You there! Oh, it's a reboot. What are you up to? You're just about to do some dribbling practice here by yourself? Reboot are really good at that kind of footwork. They're always practicing. In that case, Reboot might be willing to join some soccer games. This one says it's got some really impressive techniques. Hey, Reboot, I know a kid that'll love to kick a ball around with you. If you got some time, would you be willing to play with him? Reboot, you will? Great. That's great. I'll go get him. Those eyes, they look really fired up. This Pokemon is the coolest, Mr. Detective. Excuse me. Try talking to it. I'm sure it'll be willing to practice with you. Really? Hey, Reboot, want to play soccer with me? Reboot. It nodded. Thank you, Reboot. Okay, let's get this practice started. We're gonna win the match for sure now. Good luck. Hope you do well. Thanks. I hope we can be friends, Reboot. I guess soccer players don't need words to hit it off when they share a love of the game. Even without speaking the same language, they seem to understand each other's feelings. Well, all the hints we got point towards the red Pokemon being here. This is where the Whimsicott actually meet up with Pawniard, right? That's what they said, but I don't see it anywhere. If it was here earlier, maybe it left some kind of sign. The gashes in the rock, I would say. Pawniard are known for their blades. It's not much, but it's the only lead we've got. We better get looking. What's up with this rock? It's covered in gashes. Has something been scratching at it? These gashes look like they were left by something sharp like a blade. Let's get deducing. I doubt a human would be strong enough to make clean cuts like these. These torn up leaves have rough, uneven edges. Do you suppose Pawniard did that? They look to me like they were bitten, not cut. This cotton. It probably fell here when the Whimsicott were playing with Pawniard.
Okay, let's start deducing.
The red Pokemon that entered the mansion is clearly involved in this incident somehow. Oh yeah, wait.
Okay,
I want to turn off that thing. Ah, that would be the one. Ah, okay. That basically solves the problems for you. I don't want that. I didn't realize this is what it was gonna be.
Okay.
Did you figure out where the red Pokemon is? Ah, no, I think the one I had in mind actually is Bisharp or something. I think the evolution of this one. Which I believe can be blue. Search near the rock.
Okay.
We did find a rock that was covered in slashes, as if it had been cut up by sharp blades. Maybe those slashes were made by Pawniard. That's definitely the rock that the Whimsicott were talking about. So if we go to where that rock is, we might find Pawniard there. Alright, let's look around that rock. Well... Can you think of any way to draw Pawniard here? Sing near the rock, climb on the rock, wait next to the rock. Sing? I guess you could try singing around the rock. A song? Good idea. Guess it's time for me to show off my golden pipes. And a 1 and a 2. Maybe this wasn't the best idea. Nah, I'm just getting to the good part. It'll come running up for an autograph any second. I don't think it's gonna happen, Pikachu. That's strange. I wonder why. Guess Pawniard just doesn't have an ear for true art. This isn't working. We'd better try another angle. Wait next to it. Why don't we try waiting for a while to see if it shows up? A good old-fashioned stakeout, huh? Hope it doesn't turn out to be a waste of time. Hey Tim, how long do we gotta wait? It sure doesn't seem to be coming. It's not gonna show up just cause we're waiting for it. At this rate, we'll be here till sundown. Don't say that. We came up with this plan together, remember? This isn't working. We'd better try another angle. Okay, fine.
Oh.
Whimsicott said that Pawniard got angry when they stepped on the rock. Oh yeah, you're right. Good memory. Yeah, I forgot about that. Maybe Pawniard will show up if one of us climbs on it. Worth a shot. Let's give it a try. How's this? I just hope it's actually here to see this. Pawn! What? Impressive swordplay. It's Poniard, just like Whimsicott said. Okay, it's saying, "Darest thou tread upon my cherished rock? What is the meaning of this? Thine answer shall determine thy fate. I will show thee no mercy." Wait, what? Wow, it's really angry. Sorry, we just wanted to find you. We weren't trying to mess with your rock or anything. Pawn. Phew, thank goodness. It said it'll forgive us just this once. Pawn? You want to know why we were looking for you? Fair enough. We've got some questions we'd like to ask you. Would you mind talking with us for a bit? Pawn. It says it'll talk. About you, Poniard.
Pawn.
So you've been traveling all over as part of your journey to warriorhood? I'm sorry, did you say journey to warriorhood? Apparently it travels all over the place to practice and improve its moves. It says that's because it was born with these blades. It wishes nothing more than to master them. If Poniard is that proud of its blades, I bet they have razor-sharp edges. It says it can easily slice rock in two. This might sound a bit strange, but you haven't punched anyone recently, have you? Poniard says it's never punched a single person or Pokemon in its life. Good point, you could cut something with those hands of yours, but you definitely couldn't punch it. On second thought, you'd wind up with a different injury if you were punched by a Poniard. Are there any other Poniard in the city besides you? What's it saying? Apparently it's never seen any other Poniard. We heard from... You're gonna go, thanks for the stream and good luck with the case. Well, thank you so much, Monica. You enjoy the rest of your nights. Rest well when you get to it. And take care of yourself. Have a good one. We heard from some Whimsicott that they went to Mr. Dennis's mansion. Were you the one who went there with them? I'd like to finish this case tonight if I can help it. If we're close to the end, I would like to at least finish it. Poniard is not sure if it was the same place, but it vaguely remembers going to a big house. It says it entered the house together with the Whimsicott. How did you get inside the mansion? Apparently Poniard likes to get picked up and flown around by Whimsicott, so you think you might have gotten inside the mansion that way? Did you happen to cut a jewel case when you were in that mansion? So you can remember the sensation of cutting through something but the rest of it is a blur? This is important, so please try to remember. Pawn. It says its mind feels all foggy and it just can't remember what was going on at the time. It sure makes things difficult. Pawn. About Ducklet. Have you seen Ducklet around anywhere? Pawn. It hasn't seen her. Great, where could Ducklet have gone? We finally managed to find Poniard, but we weren't able to learn anything useful from it. Yeah, and some of what it said even contradicted testimony we gathered earlier. Maybe we could get more information if we had proof that Poniard entered the mansion. Pawn? It's asking if we're done here so it can get back to training. What sort of training does it do? Pawn. It's planning on cutting rocks and things to sharpen its skills and blades. Cut rocks? What would it be willing to would it be willing to demonstrate for us? Good idea. It would be a big help to see what a cut from a Poniard looks like. It says it would happily grace us with a demonstration. Thank you. We'll watch quietly so you can focus.
Whoa.
Awesome.
This clean slice and the metallic sound Poniard's blade made when it made contact. It all matches with what we know of the crime scene. That means the Pokemon that entered the mansion must have been Poniard. But neither Whimsicott nor Poniard remembers clearly. What's up with that? I can't imagine that the Pokemon are lying. Their behavior was pretty unusual, but there must be a good reason for it. We've looked all over the place, but we haven't seen Ducklet anywhere. Apparently she almost got caught earlier, but then ran away. So maybe she's hiding somewhere. Then how are we going to find her? We know she likes quiet spaces, so... We couldn't get much useful information from Poniard. I think Ducklet is our only good lead now. I guess we need to keep asking around then. I don't know, maybe she got scared and went into hiding. Yeah, it looks like this case is not gonna be over anytime soon, so... yeah. If she did, it'll be really hard for just the two of us to find her. Yeah, how should we look for her then? Good question. How about we ask a Pokemon to help us? A Pokemon? Pokemon have all sorts of special skills. Maybe there's a Pokemon that can help us find Ducklets. Do you think it would be willing to help us though? I'm sure one of the Pokemon in the Dennis residence would gladly help us out. After all, the theft happened in their own home. Good point. Let's go back to the mansion and ask the Pokemon there for help. Yeah, I can tell that this is not gonna be over soon.
So, your hands are blades, huh? Wow, that's pretty neat.
How wonderful to meet you, Detective. Seriously, it's an honor.
Yes.
What's the name of that Pokemon again? That Toucan. Yeah, nice to meet you too. Can I help you, or do you really not know who I am? I'm kind of a big deal on the Rhyme University campus, and I know you go to school there too. Know anything about this so-called big deal, Tim? Not that I can think of. They call me the quiz professor. I'm actually still a student, but that's what they call me. And this is my partner, Toucanon. Okay. Burning Beak. I think it's a Gen 7 Pokemon, but I'm not 100% sure. So you're the quiz professor? That's me. I'm majoring in Pokemon studies. I can't resist sharing the knowledge I've learned, so I quiz all sorts of people. That explains the nickname. The quiz professor is definitely on the eccentric side. Kano. I'll admit you got me there. Pikachu doing detective work is pretty eccentric too. Why don't we celebrate our meeting with a quiz? We're pretty busy working on a case right now. Here's the first question. In one ear and out the other. Ah, well, I guess it can't hurt to play along. I guess here goes nothing. What Pokemon catches prey using its long tongue? The Chameleon one. It's somewhere in this very city, so get out there and look for it. What's your tongue like, Toucanon? Mind opening up that beak of yours? Nothing extraordinary there. Thanks, anyway. A Pokemon with a long tongue, huh? Or Lickitung, I guess. But I didn't know it would catch prey with its tongue as well. Lickitung, yeah. Indeed, but I didn't know that it caught prey with its tongue. That's a long tongue. I'm amazed it stretches so far. Lickitung might be the answer to that quiz question. I think you're right. Let's go tell the quiz professor. That's what I immediately thought to the chameleon-looking one, the name of which I can't remember right now. So, Detective, did you figure out the answer to my first question? It's Lickitung, right? Bingo, yes, you got it. Lickitung uses its long tongue to catch its prey. According to reports, contact with its saliva causes a tingling sensation, as well as a persistent itch. Oh wow, good thing we didn't get licked. I'm feeling itchy just imagining it. Kano! Thanks for the warning, Toucanon. We'll make sure any Lickitung we meet keeps its tongue to itself. That was only the first question. I guess it was a little too easy. Are you saying there's more? Here's where they get serious. Time for question number 2. What Pokemon uses its cute looks to put you off your guard so it can steal from you? The cat one? Purloin? What Pokemon tries to steal from people? Purloin? Well, it's not here. What a cute Pokemon. That's a Purloin. How sweet. I think it wants some attention. Sorry, we're busy now. We can play with you later. Hold up, Tim. Check your pockets. Why would I need to check my... Wait, what? My pen's gone. I thought so. This is your doing, isn't it, Purloin? Now hand it over. Pause where we can see him. Purr. Oh, my pen. Wow, you can't take your eyes off this Purloin for a second. Yeah, that was a close one. At least we figured out the answer to the quiz question. Right, it's Purloin. Let's go tell this the quiz professor. Yeah, them being thieves, I do kind of remember.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. They sometimes scratch people who try to reclaim those stolen items, so be careful of their claws. The Purloin we met wasn't that rowdy, but we should probably be careful in the future. Better safe than sorry. Kano, it's asking if we agree that quizzes can actually be pretty fun. There's certainly a chance to learn more about Pokemon. Let the quiz continue. Time for question number whatever. Best buds always stick together. What Pokemon moves as a group? Those over there. The whole group counts as one Pokemon. Yeah. Is that even a thing? Well, that's not very sporting. Okay, this Pokemon has quite a unique appearance. Yeah, I know, it's this one. Phalanx, yeah. Lynx!
Yes.
Phalanxes are a very peculiar Pokemon. There are actually 6 of them working together as one. The one at the front, known as the Brass, leads the others by issuing orders. In battle, they change formation as needed and use teamwork to secure the win. Uh-huh. Wow. That's a pretty interesting Pokemon, sure, but I bet it's tough for the troopers if they've got an incompetent Brass. Yeah, sorry, I'm sure they're all perfectly competent. That's all for today's quiz. I hope you're as enthusiastic about quizzes and Pokefacts as I am. I learned a lot. Glad to hear it. I'll get some new questions ready for next time. Okay, please let them be easy ones. Maybe she could, you know, wait till we're not in the middle of something. Yeah, see ya, Toucanon. Okay. That's 3 side quests taken care of, I guess. Right. I'll finish here for today. I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully I've already started feeling better by tomorrow. Tonight my throat is still quite sore. My voice is still there at least, but it's painful to even talk, so... Yeah, these cases seem longer than in the previous game, I would say. But anyway. Take care of yourselves, people. I'll be back tomorrow then. And hopefully I get to talk to you all by tomorrow. See you next time.